put out these two if
I let you. I mean, obviously you don't see my hand here, right?
So I'm. But at the same time, I think I'm okay with taking a point damage and pitching. Yeah.
Okay. Isn't Cam one of your better cards in this matchup?
No, because I don't have any more search targets.
No, but it's also if you name Ice.
Oh, you're right.
Right? I mean, Gallus is great, right?
Yeah,
but
I don't think I'm gonna keep it anyway.
Yeah, isn't Cam just a little bit better? So then, if that's the case, then I probably want to. Make you discard your last card. I'll see. Target.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. And I have to deal with that card because that card is annoying.
So I think we will search.
Sure. What do you search for?
Oh, and you pitched your whole hand's gone?
Yeah, my whole hand's gone.
Is this right?
I think it's better to just play the Stola out here, right? You're right. I draw one, draw two. I drew a flan, and you sail. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, so I drew this. So this is actually pretty good. I guess, well, you didn't know I was going to play the flan, right? Mm-hmm. Or I was going to draw the flan. But, like, the reason why is because then if you get to take a next turn, right, then you just, like, take over the Donnelly character, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to if you discard this, right, then you have 0 cards in hand. That is a little bit... It actually might just be better to play the Donnelly, actually. Just play the Donnelly instead, right? Because you didn't know, right? So then you have to discard... Are you sure you cracked the star symbol?
Yeah, because then I can have 2 pings.
Okay, sure.
Because if you made me discard, okay, well, in response to your discarding, I can ping.
Sure. I'll discard.
You're gonna make me discard?
Yeah, I'm gonna discard.
Okay, in that case.
I'm gonna search first though. With the flan.
Then you get So search for it. Play the second one. So.
Where's the second flan?
Mm-hmm.
And then. I'm actually gonna wait.
Okay.
I don't have to do it now, right?
Yeah,
I just
you don't.
I enter attacks. I attack.
All right, if you want to look at the chat, it's here.
All right, cool. Thank
There's
you.
no one here, but if anybody wants to speak.
I don't think attacking's right here.
Why? Why is it not right?
Because I can board wipe you.
How?
Ping, ping here, and then I can block and ping here.
Wait, ping, ping.
So I have 1 ping with semi. So dull pitch, and I can ping you here.
Right.
And then tap here.
But I take your Donnelly off the board, and that's really good for me, right? I'm taking this 2-for-1 trade every day, right? This is so good for me because Donnelly is a real problem, right?
Okay. In that case,
then next turn, if you keep cards in your hand, you don't get cards, right? So this is actually really good for me. So I'll take that trade, right? If you think that's the right move here, I think you're forced into it.
I do think that's the right move. So
and then that way I can just keep these and then just be really happy, right? And then next turn I just like you sail, rip your hand, and like things are really good for me. Of course.
I trust in the top decks, man.
All right, seems good. I draw onto it too.
So obviously I'm now in Sid Alstein range too. So. So you're gonna search for Sid Alstein?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna search for Sid.
Sid
100% of the time.
Yeah, because next turn you can flan if I keep anything.
Yeah. Go ahead. Actually, yeah, go ahead. And I'm also gonna search with flan.
Yeah.
If I have any more targets.
I don't think you do. You might have one more.
No, I don't have any more targets. It's fine. It's fine.
You know what? What I think I want to do is that, and then Star Sybil into Moogle.
Yeah.
And then
that seems Moogle
pour into Cactuar.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So I'll have no cards in hand, but I'll have.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Untap?
Yep.
Draw 1, draw 2. I don't have to do anything right now. Did you cast spell? Dull freeze a card, please.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I think I'm in the same boat here. I think I hold.
Okay. Learn.
Thinking. Those flawns are a problem.
Yeah, no, right?
Yeah.
Draw 1, draw 2. Enter combat? Oh, sorry, not enter combat. Flan once.
Yeah. You're
Then flan again. Are you not going to cast the? You can cast the Heka.
I want to keep these up to Cactuar 10k if I need to.
No, you already have it, because if I target this, that's already 4,000 here, and you have double Cactuar, right? If you're playing on the Sid Alstein, right, you still have it, right? And actually, just Hekaing here is just 100%, right?
Okay, in that case, his Heka Dukelar, yeah, that's the obvious choice. And it makes it so you have to pitch a card in order to...
well, I have pitching here.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, and then you kill this, right?
And it takes double ping.
And then I'll play this.
Yep.
Go ahead. And this actually looks pretty good for me. Alright, just don't rip the third Dodaluma off the top.
I think that's actually...
Pretty reasonable. What do you have that's FFCC? Oh, sure, that works. And then you play that as opposed to playing the other one. Sure. Are you well, I guess you don't know about this. Alright, my turn?
Yeah.
Draw 1, draw 2. Okay, I mean, dull freeze, attack. Go ahead.
Missed by 1.
Go ahead. And this is dull, right?
I'm gonna get milled out.
I don't even think so. I think you're gonna die from getting bopped a couple of times by a lock in Genesis. You can't even do Cactuar, kill this, and then play this Essel. You don't have enough. You don't have enough cards. That would be sick, though, right?
Yeah.
You do this, kill this, and then pop this. Unfortunately, you're short.
I didn't even see that play. You're right. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Where am I out? I'm gonna lose both these cards, so I need to at least
on board. Yeah. If you play that, then I just snag whatever you get out of here, right?
Yeah, and that's I'm okay with because what I was going to grab was a penalty. But next turn I can minor into Dodaluma.
Okay. So you're just like okay with just me taking the cards out of your hand here, right? I mean, if that's the line you're taking, then you're actually just.
Well, by searching win CP, I still have a Cactuar available.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you're gonna pop a Cactuar on one of these, right? That means that you only have one Cactuar activation for Dodaluma if you get back the Dodaluma, right?
But I'll get Galded. Galded will eventually die.
Okay. Well, I mean, if that's the plan, yeah.
Yeah. I think I like this for now.
Sure. Fine.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I think it's fine.
Again, the Argath is also lame.
Let's see. I mean, we're attacking here, right?
So, yeah, in response to that, I want to, you know what, actually, let's just see what it is. Yeah. And then, yeah, I think just taking the damage and losing the cards is better.
Okay, sure. And then I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
It doesn't matter, right? Because you're just getting back to the Daluma here.
Not anymore because I got Heka, and so I can. So what I think I want to do first is. Do I ping down your Argath, kill him, and swing?
Why would you swing? Because your plan is to hold back my team, right? Like you're on the defense. You would never want to swing in this instance.
You're right. But with the Heka, I can Galdes now can stay up. And
so the line I see is ping here, ping here.
That's what
right?
I was looking at too.
And then using the Heka and then killing off one of these two and then passing the turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
thing is that I would have to kill the Genesis because you have the Time Mage on board.
Yeah. So then you just kill these two, right? That seems fine, actually. And then you have the wall, and if I rip your wall, then you can follow up with the Dada Luma play that you were talking about next turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah.
But I also. I'm just trying to think. I want to make sure I cover all my bases. Yeah, I think that's right.
Sure.
And I think I want to pass turn before
Okay.
that because
Sure.
then if you Time Mage the Genesis, then in response,
Then you can kill it in response.
I can kill it.
Yeah. Draw one, draw two.
Yeah.
Laguna?
Mm-hmm.
Search?
Yep.
Do I have any squalls left? I do have a squall left. Squall you?
Yeah, and then in response, I'm gonna Hecaton. I think you want Hecaton onto Genesis.
Genesis, sure.
Genesis is the right move there. And you have to pass.
Go ahead.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I want to get decked out.
I think you just have to run with the line, right? Yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and kill the Laguna.
You want to do it one, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. I only have to do it.
Tap a Cactuar.
Yeah.
Learn?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oof. I think I just have to double spell here. And then just hope to not get constantly got by Skull Laguna. Go ahead. Or rather, Dowlin Cactuar. I mean, this is going to be pretty rough for me to come back from. Oh, this is awkward as hell.
Okay. So I think I want to kill Vayne.
Sure. Vayne down.
Then I want to I think I pass.
Okay. Ooh, I drew a good one. Yeah, I think you're fine. What do I want to do here? Kind of want to get down the orphan, but the orphan causes problems, right? Because I can't get around this Dodaluma is the problem. Because like what you have on board, I can't just target your Dodaluma. That's just awkward as hell. Right. No, I got this. Orphan. Target.
Okay. Who do I want to ping here? I think I ping. Yeah, Locker Renoa.
Yeah, I mean either one of these are defensible.
Yeah.
Which one?
Let's go ahead and do.
Because like Renoa means that like that eventually I'll be able to have this die and then be able to swing it with more of my team, right?
Yeah, I think I want to hit lock.
Okay, sure. Okay, so then enter combat.
Okay, in response?
Sure.
The heck of Galda's on the lock?
Sure.
Actually, no. Gosh, I should have pinged Renoa earlier. I want to kind of switch that.
Yeah, sure.
I'll switch the ping right now.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. Attack.
Not one I want to let.
No, you can kill us off with this ping, right?
I know. Yeah.
Okay. So you can get rid of both, right? And then I'll attack here.
Yeah, that one has to go through.
Go.
I need that wall. Oh, these are frozen. Oh, there it is. Okay. So first things first. 1, 2, 3. Kill orphan.
Sure.
And then let's switch this around so I can pick for it correctly.
Go ahead. Draw 1, draw 2. And I think I'm dead here, unfortunately. I don't think I can win. Because just having you set up with this is pretty awkward. Yeah, this matchup is just actually terrible.
Yeah.
Because like, well, it's also like partly like you have Noctis and Galdas, right? I mean, this matchup seems pretty geared for this particular matchup.
Yeah. I mean, what you can do, you can time mage to rip a card out of my hand.
But that's not even like I don't have plays is basically what it is, right? Because like I had one opportunity to get through, right? I mean, the other turn I could have just like Genesis, but that means I couldn't tackle the rest of my team, right?
Okay, cool. That was close. And the Noctis top deck won because I was at 5 damage, so next damage would have broken something.
Right. Oh, that was really unfortunate. I mean, like I did break your Donnelly twice, but what happened was I committed so many resources. I committed so many resources that
to Sid Alstein for Donnelly when it just that's.
Well, Donnelly Cactar is just really hard for me to disrupt, right? I can't beat that.
Switch to Water Wind.
Okay.
Just gotta pull this out, put the link in. Is anyone watching? Is anyone interested in what we're doing?
I think there's like 2 viewers. But then keep in mind we're also at the same time as I think Spellbound Games, but also the Petite Cup. So it's not like we aim to do it this way. It's just
mostly just probably just looking to get YouTube views, probably.
Yeah. I mean, in between games for the other thing. Why not, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that many people are subscribed to the channel anyway. So whatever. For what it's worth.
And then, like, definitely my inexperience with the deck is definitely showing, right? It's just not something that I'm pretty comfortable with playing. Because, like, I'm mostly comfortable with playing, you know, the super setup decks where you're always constantly trying to defend and then just, like,
If
out
you
your opponent
want,
out.
I mean, what time is it? 4:04. Sweet, we got time.
Okay.
I gotta be
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I gotta be out here at like 6
Okay.
because I'm having a birthday dinner.
Okay.
So if you want to practice, I can use that deck, and you can play your water deck to just practice.
No, well, the thing is that I'm practicing playing something that is outside of my mold, right?
Gotcha.
That's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, I definitely am more experienced with playing, like, sort of the slower setup decks, like Scions and Mono Water and stuff like that, right? But I typically don't choose to play, like, hyper-aggressive decks, mostly because they just, like, sometimes fold and die, right? But the thing is, these decks are also really, really powerful as well.
Tempting to keep, but no.
All right, I'm gonna keep this. This hand's actually pretty reasonable. Actually, I'm not liking these Lagunas all that much.
This is not much better. Actually, this is awful. I'll go first.
Sure.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Scry. What is it?
It's Valfor.
Oh, okay.
I don't want it yet.
You want backups, so. Wait, why did you discard this?
You're right.
You should have discarded literally anything besides that. Maybe the pain, right?
Yeah. And then, actually, I think I do this. And, well, this is a tough decision. I think I gotta keep it.
I actually think you discard the Diablos, right? Because you actually can't come into the board, and, like, Diablos is actually pretty terrible in this position right now.
You are correct. Yes.
All right, draw 2. I think. Search. I think you just got the Valfor instead, right?
It's just so hard to get rid of Valfor because it's your win condition.
Right, but things like you're so far away from Valforing, right? It's the same reason why you're getting rid of Diablos, right? Because you're super far away from Valforing, right? I'm not applying any pressure to you, right? But I mean, I'm probably a deck that does, right? And then you probably want the Chelinka instead, right? Mm-hmm. The other line that you could take is to use the to grab the or play the Immune this turn as well.
I was thinking about that, but maybe bounce Echo or.
But like a lot of times you don't want to. I mean, like in this situation, you don't need to. I mean, the reason why we kept the Chelinka was so that we can actually have something on board to actually deal with your shenanigans, right? I actually don't even know if you play the next one, right?
Well, I'm worried about getting it pitched.
Like it discarded?
Just whenever I see ice, I just want to get stuff out there.
Right, but if I discard you now, then you're in a lot of trouble, right? I mean, it's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you're right.
And also, like, next turn, if you draw cards, right, that means that you can actually play it with preserving more cards, right?
You're right.
I want to.
Why not Edward there?
Because Dukelar's a little better than this matchup, I think. Just like, you have a lot of 7s.
Okay. So I think what I want to do is just.
Oh wait, I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
I have an Edward. I can actually preserve the Dukelar. I can make you discard a card.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. No, I forgot that I had the Harley on board.
Yeah, that's
fine. Yeah.
I think I do this. I think I go here, and here, and I just hold.
Okay, so then this is problematic for you, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of EX in this deck, so
yeah, I'll attack here.
Yeah. So.
Wait, why are you drawing 3?
Because I'm rolling. Oh, you're right. I draw 2.
Draw 2.
And then discard 1. I definitely think that it sucks to lose another Diabolos this early. I think Kuchelain is probably going to be the better discard. Also, I think Bart's is the better discard. Okay.
Yeah, go first. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
There it is. So let's go ahead and I think I like pitching a Kuchling for Yuna and then two, three.
Like, this is going to be a problem for you.
Yeah.
And this is tapped, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Go ahead.
All right. This is very good, actually. Combat. Attack.
Yeah, and I know worried about Edward. Yeah.
Well, you actually should try the trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why not try and trade here as opposed to? Because you're going to try and you should. If I have the Mateus, I have the Mateus, right? You're 100%. You're not because you're going to lose a card here anyways, right?
But then,
unless you want to try and trade here, but like, wouldn't be trading here better than trading here?
The thing is that Chelinka is pretty well valued in this deck, and there's so much EX bursts that I'm almost always better off taking the damage.
Okay, so then discard a card, please.
Yeah. Go ahead and pitch Kuchling.
Run it back.
Yeah. Mill one.
Sure.
Okay. Discard.
And then I do this. And then now you're in a lot of trouble, right? Go ahead.
Okay. I think I'm okay with holding.
Attack?
Yeah. Mill one.
Sure. Discard a card, please.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I want to follow this up with this.
Yeah.
I'll Mateus it down. And then all this. And the reason why I'm doing that is because, like, even though he might draw another pain, yeah, like I just want to apply pressure, right? Because like now I can attack him with the Renoa, and I also want to be as mana efficient as possible, right? Next turn I might want to play something that I wanted, like a 4-drop or whatever, right? So then that means that I can't do the things I want to do the next turn. Yeah, I mean the Chelinka like was causing a lot of problems, right? But I feel like in that situation you might have to just like not respect the because like getting hit is just like super brutal, right? Like you got hit 4 times with things that made you discard out of your hand, right? That's 4 cards, right?
Yeah, and I mean obviously, I blocked Mateus. Haha, deal with it.
Yeah, but the thing is like you have to. I mean, if I have it, right? Mm-hmm. Like and it's still better because you at least get to soak the attack.
Knowing you is that you don't attack if you don't have it.
No, it was a trade. Either way, like attacking there, I would 100% attack there, but then, no matter if I Mateus or not.
You Mateus, and then okay, now I'm down a guy. I get to keep my card, but thanks, man.
But even if I didn't have the Mateus, I would still attack in that position. Why? Because I still get in for the next point of damage, even with trade, right? So I'm 100% okay with the trade regardless, right? Because I still get to connect with 1 point and make you discard. All right.
Cool. Anyways, don't worry about it. You trying to be popular, guys?
No, not particularly.
I feel
We're
so
on YouTube
popular.
and Twitch anyways, so don't worry about it.
We're gonna be YouTube famous.
It's not only that, but for Twitch, unless you're consistently always on the same day, same time, like multiple times a week, then people don't really tune in as much.
I think this is better, but kind of backups.
Okay, this has kind of what we want, which is
God, trash. Okay, go ahead. You go first.
okay, sure. Discarding this. Discard this. You said. Okay.
Search for
Lock.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's pretty good news for me.
Yep.
Because I can just resolve the lock and then be fine here.
Mm-hmm.
And then resolve the lock. Good. You kind of have to answer this card.
I know.
This card's actually a problem for you. Well, here's another line. What if you played the pain and then into the Illyria?
I see what you're saying. So pitch, what, Dane, play pain.
Baleful. Baleful is your worst card in your hand. Yeah, I think you're overvaluing Baleful, right? Because, like, especially in this matchup, where you definitely don't want the Baleful, right? Pour. Right, and you search for either Chilinko or whatever, right?
Yuri.
Yeah.
Yuri in this case. Go ahead.
Draw 1, draw 2. I mean, in my hand, like, obviously, I definitely want to do something like this, right? Lark. Attack.
Yep. Block.
Okay, yeah. Eat your guy. Go ahead. And this just feels pretty good for me. Because, like, you have to deal with this card. Because you saw how, like, if I connect with, like, even once, like, the game starts to slip away from you. So it's a real problem. Sure.
Go ahead.
That's really okay with me. Because if that's what you're doing with your life, I think that's really okay. Enter combat.
Dull freeze.
Sure. Main 2. Choose dull freeze.
Yep.
I think I'm okay here. Go ahead.
I think I go 1.
Sure.
Go ahead.
That seems a little loose.
I mean, well, okay, yeah. Here
Let's
we go.
see. No. As in, I don't even think you even play the Barts. You go with something else, right? Like, hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back. Right?
I don't think so.
Because what did you discard to play the Barts?
I discarded Porum and Ishtola. Here we go. For some reason, I keep drawing every Porum in this deck. And so.
Well, you have a turn to this is frozen, right?
Oh yeah, lock is. I have a turn. You're right.
Yeah, you have a turn.
For some reason,
right. This is still frozen.
So I think I go here and play Echo, and then I look. So it's Yuri.
Yeah.
To the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, that seems fine.
And draw. Which is fine. Pitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that seems much better, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. And you're right, because for some reason I was thinking that Locke was going to come on next turn. I needed to contest him.
I like doing this here.
Yeah. So,
and then I like discarding this to play this.
I think I pitch parts.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I almost want to play Zidane.
Okay.
Can't play Kuchelane, so I think I go here into here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, why'd you pitch the Barts?
Because this Troll seems like a better
card in this matchup?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not that, I mean, Barts might be better in this matchup because of the dual freezing and everything.
Yeah, being able to stop dual freezing.
Yeah, let's switch those.
Okay. Like, and then this hand just like looks a lot better, right? Oh, but you still discarded the Kuchelane.
You're right.
For the Yuna.
You were right. Now I think I actually just play the Barts.
You can attack first, right?
Right.
It's free.
So yeah, let's attack first. Okay, then play Barts. And then...
Ready? Yeah, that seems fine.
Go ahead.
All right. Draw 1, draw 2. Ooh, that was a fortuitous draw. Enter combat?
Yep.
Shoot this?
Ping,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll attack the block.
Yeah.
Don't freeze. Okay. Both of these are hard. Pretty done though.
So,
I think you only have one line here, right? Is slam the Zidane, take one of my cards, and then pass. It's not like you can do anything else. Or you can discard a card to play the Zidane, right? You can discard this, play the Zidane, right?
Well,
Off this, and then you can keep this
or
up,
I could
right?
kill your Vayne. I can ping, Veil 4, ping.
Yeah, you could. I mean, if that's what you want to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So ping here. Then Veil 4, reactivate.
Yeah. And then ping. Yeah. That's fine.
Go ahead.
Draw 1, draw 2. Ooh, that's pretty good. Attack. Attack. Run this out. Good.
Okay. How big is Laguna?
7. 8 with my large.
Swing the parts.
Yeah, no blocks.
Go ahead.
Enter combat.
Yeah.
Block. Get in there. Really? All right.
So I think I want to. Yeah, I'm just gonna block it.
Nice.
Yeah, cancel it.
Mateus. I mean, there's nothing that. I mean, it's really hard to read the double Mateus.
Yeah, and that's again. I knew you had it, and I have to make you do it.
Right. Enter combat.
You're still in combat.
Yeah. I mean, I'm giving you an opportunity to use your
Yeah.
basically what I'm
Let's go
trying to
ahead
tell
and
you. Don't freeze.
don't freeze.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like. I know
Yeah. Just like this pressure right here is like just really hard for you to beat.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter because I'm gonna go through my hand anyway. That's game.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do.
Because then you can't really come back from the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this matchup's a little rough for you because like if I land an early lock and you don't have a fan for it, then the game's like really difficult.
And the Dome Mateus.
Huh?
Dome Mateus.
Well, I wouldn't make that attack if I didn't have the double Mateus. Because I mean,
but you said you would have attacked no matter what because
No,
those are always
not-
better trades for you.
no, because in that situation, right, you had the Barts up, right? I would never make that attack if it was just the Barts, right?
Okay.
Because it was because you hit the EX off the thing. The first attack made a ton of sense, even if I didn't have the double Mateus, because the trade just benefits me anyways, right? I get your Yuri off the board, that's great, right? But because you hit the Barts, if I didn't have the double Mateus, I would never make that attack, right? I mean, like if you think about it from my side, right? Would I attack if I'm trading for either eating your Stola or trading with your Yuri? 100% of the time, right?
Yeah, and again, it's just so efficient. I just hate Mateus because it's so efficient. 1 CP, lose your entire it took. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you have a really hard time beating Lock, right? That's a block in Genesis, right? Because like those are like if those hit you, it's basically a death sentence for you, right?
And that's the thing is like again this deck, Valfor is so valuable because that's your board wipe, and you can't pitch it. That's the thing is you just cannot pitch Valfor.
You have to pitch it early because you have to get set up, right? If you don't have a Uno, the card is just absolutely it doesn't do anything, right?
Yeah, and that's why it sucks having it in your opening hand like that. Because yeah, the double Valfor is your board wipe pretty much, and again with you setting up and everything, yeah, it just.
Well, even like the thing is like I'm not letting you get set up, right? Because the thing is like if you keep the Valfor in your hand, right, that means you're not impacting the board, and if you're not impacting the board, then you actually can't stop the hemorrhaging of cards from the lock, right? Because the point is I'm trying to attack your resources, right? And if you hold on to a Valfor, right, even though like you can set up in the late game,
right,
then that means that
this
like
matchup's decided in the first turn.
More spoilers. 1 CP Titan.
what does it do?
From 11.
Choose 1 forward until end of the turn. It gains plus 1,000 power. For each Earth backup you control, and it's an EX burst.
That's ridiculously good.
Well, that's pretty good.
Choose one Earth forward or any.
It has
any
to
forward.
be 1 forward, and it's base plus 1,000 power per Earth backup. I'm gonna try to see if there's anything else that we missed out on. Well,
I think I actually keep this.
this. The double flan hand is definitely gonna go. Ooh,
That's your ideal opening hand.
we got some good ones here. Not gonna lie.
All right, I'll go first.
Yep.
So let's go ahead.
Ooh, kind of got a little bit of everything here. So we're discarding these two for sure, and I think we're discarding this as well. 3, you sail. We'll grab Genesis. Yeah. Yeah, this matchup totally makes sense to me in terms of of how to play it out. I just like land an early lock and then just like apply a whole bunch of pressure with the lock and then follow up with the Genesis, and then the matchup just seems pretty sealed up.
Yeah, and then not drawing Alhenelem also, because Alhenelem is one of your big ways to trade up and everything. All right.
Draw 1, draw 2.
I
Actually, I think I discard the Renoa here, actually. Because I can keep the Flan and actually start ripping cards out of your hand. So,
I guess Petit Cup's over, and congratulations to Kyle Peters.
Oh,
And
yeah,
second
nice.
place is Sam Prime.
Second place is Sam Prime?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Sam Prime got the Lunar Freya Play Axe card.
Oh, the cheater?
Hey, don't do that, man. Don't do that.
Like, it happens to everyone. And it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Just for reference, we don't actually think Sam Prime's a cheater.
Yeah.
So let's just get that out of the way. Wait, hold on. Why are you attacking here?
Because if I attack and you block...
I would never block here. Because then I just attack back, right? That's just 100% like...
Okay, perfect. Yeah, don't block. Take the damage.
Yeah, no, 100... Wait, but then you... What do you do afterwards?
Then I play Chelinka.
Sure. Okay, that seems fine.
Yeah.
Because watch what happens, right? I play the Genesis. I tap your Chelinka. I attack. I get to rip a card out of your hand. I rip another card out of your hand. And now you're in a lot of trouble because you can't block with the Chelinka anymore. And then you're facing down the double pressure,
I see
right?
what you're saying.
Like...
Again, I didn't know you have a Genesis in your hand.
Yeah, no, you do. I searched it with the Sail.
You're right. Okay, and I know you have the Flan too. So
No, you don't know I have the Flan. You only know about the Genesis because I searched with the Sail, right?
let's go here then, and let's. So he's still up.
Yeah. Because this matchup's all about preserving cards on your end, right? And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to deny you resources, right? I'm still going to play the Genesis here regardless, right? But this means that you can actually use the pain to block, as opposed to, getting a card out of your hand, right?
Yeah.
My turn?
Yep.
Alright, still I think I make the same play, or a similar play. Yeah, I like this a lot, actually. Go first?
Yeah.
Enter combat? Attack?
Block with pain.
Sure. Flan, search. And then I'll play the last Flan and rip a card out of your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Don't freeze.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, and then you're priced into doing something like that, which feels really, really terrible, right?
Go ahead.
Draw 1, draw 2. Seems pretty good. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to search. One. Grab the Lost Flan on the deck. Is there another Flan? Yeah, there is. And then enter combat?
Yeah.
Because I take the trade all day, every day, right? Then I think I like playing this. Because being on 4 to your 2 seems really good. So then, I mean, like, you have a line to kill one of the guys, right?
Yeah.
But it's just not even good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're not even set up, and you actually have to pitch both of your cards in order to do so, right? No, you have a better line, actually. Discard to play the Bauer, shrink, kill, right? And that's just much better, right? It's better than anything else you have. Which one do you kill? This one? It actually might make sense to leave the Genesis on the board. Well, actually, since I have a time mage, then yeah, it's actually probably worse. Alright, my turn?
Yeah.
Draw 1, draw 2.
Yeah,
I knock it out of your hand. So.
I know. So I'm trying to think of what I want discarded. So I was a Portman Archer.
Okay.
How's the game going? I'm cooking without a microwave, so it takes longer.
Let's see here. Search. Let's keep this up. Skull. Just play the flop. Then I discard this. Play skull. Good.
Yeah. Sweet. 5 backups that I've seen.
Yeah, but you're still fine here, right? You just play the Yuna, smash, kill the Laguna, and pass. I mean, this Cloud Darkness is actually going to carry you pretty hard.
Yeah, I know. Swing.
Yeah.
Reduce. Actually, I don't even have. Yeah, reduce.
Sure.
And then take it off.
You can't do anything afterwards, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, you can keep attacking, but... and then I'll take the damage. Minor?
Yep, go ahead.
Ooh, that was really good.
Hell.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Mhm.
And then I'll rip both of the cards out of your hand. Good. Great.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And tap.
Mhm.
Go 1 or 2. Click. Go ahead. Is it 3,000?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Swing.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'm not blocking here under any circumstance.
Yeah, go ahead.
Draw 1 or 2. This is actually pretty good. Discard, discard. Rip the 2 cards out of your hand.
Yep.
And a combat. Attack. Actually, yeah, attack with this first. Oh, that's pretty good.
I think I take Kuchelin, right?
None of those do anything, I think. Yeah. I'll attack. Why did you... Oh, yeah, of course you're not going to block here, right? Because it's just... Well, I mean, you can trade, right? But it just seems good. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Draw 1 or 2. Block. Sure.
I'll finish off Sephiroth.
I'll respond. Damage. Click back, discard 2. Attack.
Do I really not have it?
You're out. Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's good.
Attack.
That's good.
Is that 7? Or 6, right? But then you just
No,
can't
I mean
attack,
I
right?
can't get past Mateus. I cannot get over Mateus.
Well, but things like, yeah, I think that, I mean, you're gonna lose regardless of if I have the Mateus, right? So in those situations,
Well, you wouldn't have blocked this. You wouldn't have attacked the squall if you didn't have Mateus. Because you would have just lost him.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, I was representing Mateus, right? But sometimes you just have to get got by it,
And that's
right?
the thing is, like, I should have just done it when... Yeah, I should have just... Again, the biggest problem was Vayne, and I can't kill Vayne without combat because it. Yeah.
The
All my
deck
Diablos
doesn't do
over
it.
here.
Yeah, this matchup is a hard matchup
I saw
for you.
5 backups.
Yeah, this matchup was a hard matchup for you. I mean, like, obviously, like, the difference between this matchup and the Earthwind matchup is, like, night and day, right?
Yeah.
Like, where I just, like, apply pressure
is
and
that-
then you can't beat that.
Yeah, and this wins through combat. Whereas, again, I think gosh, my Yuri's a bad card. People love him so much. I just don't like it.
Now you know why NorCal doesn't like Yuri at all.
It's like, hey, draw Yuri. Now he's in your hand. Everyone's like, well, he wins you the game. I'm like, okay. But then why doesn't your opponent have an answer for Yuri? And you're just playing someone who's bad.
The thing is, like, I don't even need to answer Yuri, right? A lot of the times you're discarding your cards in order to play your Yuri, and that's, like, really okay with me, because then it means I can knock the last 2 cards of your hand, and then you just, like, your Yuri versus my board, right?
Yeah.
And then that just feels really, really terrible.
Yeah.
So,
Let's try one more time with this, and I'll switch decks again.
okay, sounds good.
Man, gosh, that's just such a frustrating matchup.
Yeah. And if you want to try against some of the other decks as well, I have Scions and I have Mono Water as well.
Well, this loses to Scions pretty hard.
Oh, just, no, I have, my version of Science? Or, like, the NorCal version of Science?
The Grey Coal version of Scions.
I do not like that version of Science.
Alright.
I'm not going to go so far as to say I think it's not good, but I think that it is... I think that our version is preferable.
I'm going to keep.
Okay.
You go.
Sure. I mean, I like this, so... Good. Actually, I've been really liking the Argath in this deck.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Thing is, like, if I open up double backup, then you just rip the rest of the cards in my hand. And if I open up 1 backup, then I don't get to play the game.
Go ahead. That's good.
I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay.
Untap. Draw 1 to 2. I actually like doing this.
Yep.
Actually, I'm okay with doing this as well. Actually, I think maybe killing the Sephiroth actually might be better. Nah. Yeah, I actually like killing the Sephiroth instead. Go ahead. It's just not the gameplay we go for. I'm actually just going to try and just aggro you out of the game. It's pretty good. Sure.
I just don't respect the Celestine. Go ahead.
Alright, well, I mean, since the hand dictates that, I attack with the Vayne.
So I'll block with pain.
Sure, that's fine. Attack.
Okay, I'll let that one through.
And then I'll just blow up your... I think I blow up your... Yuri.
Response? Finish my pain.
Sure. Good.
Swing the parts.
Yeah. That seems fine.
Go ahead.
Draw 1 or 2. Enter combat. Attack.
Break and activate.
Sure. Go freeze. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
One card in hand?
Yep.
Oh, wait. Duh. Yeah.
Play Edward, rip my card out of my hand. It only costs you 1 because you're hardly out.
Yeah. Rip.
Response. Actually, no response. Yeah. I was thinking about popping something.
All right. Enter combat.
Yeah.
Attack. Actually, no. Attacking is actually really bad there. I actually have to not attack because I want to play the use sail.
So quiet in there.
Is that what I want in my hand?
I don't know.
Is that what I want with my life?
I mean, it's only Final Fantasy. It's not going to tell you what to do with your life.
Tell me what I want.
Life choices.
No, that's fine. Good. No, that can't be right. That can't be right. I think I have to get Squall here. Or Laguna.
What's Squall? Or Laguna. What's Squall?
I just need cards, is what I need. And this actually provides me with more cards.
I think I'm content with passing.
Okay, sure, I'm down. Draw 1 or 2. Ooh, that was an insane draw. Yeah, this can only be good, right? Enter combat. Attack.
Mill 1.
Sure. Discard.
Last check. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Let's go ahead and go. Chilinka?
Sure.
3K?
Sure.
So 5K total?
Yeah.
We have 4?
Yeah. And you kill it, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
Mary?
Go ahead.
Enter combat. Attack.
Block.
I'll take it away. Yeah, I'll take it away. Actually, do I trade here?
I think Mateus is always the right choice.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to go like this, and then I'll do this. Go ahead.
Would you play to search?
Several.
But would you play to search?
Yule. Discard Yule, and then I played Duke Lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
String of parts?
Yeah, that's really okay. Are you sure, actually?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right, because the Sephiroth's on top.
Are those your next 2 cards you draw?
Yeah, these are the next 2. Yeah. You can do this if you want, actually. This is actually fine. This is a fine line.
Yeah. And then...
Sure, if you want to knock the Sephiroth from my deck.
Go ahead.
This is not looking good for me. I actually played that pretty poorly, I think. I shouldn't have. I'm not sure what happened there. That last turn was just really, really bad, I think. Because like forgetting that you could just attack through and get the cards out of the hand is pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Okay, enter combat.
Yeah. Block.
Trade.
8. Trade.
Actually, I think I...
Sure.
Seeing that, I actually think I want to just keep swinging now. Do I want to keep swinging? No. I think what I want to do though is do that instead of pay that.
Sure.
So I can mill you later. Go ahead. Oh, that's good. Now I'm like, darn.
Attack?
Yeah. Oh, should mill first?
Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Yeah, and you got it. Okay, cool. There's not much I can do about that. Afterwards, there was a turn. So that turn where I searched with the Yule, I actually probably should have done something different. I don't remember what the position was, but I have to like go back and look at it because like I don't think that I made use of my I was just like thinking of the like just like outvaluing you, but I actually just needed to try and close the game as quickly as possible. Yeah. Is what it was.
So
oh, you built mono water?
This is one I built a while ago.
Oh, okay.
So I took it apart a bunch. And
do you want to play my version or do you want to play your version?
I want to try my version. Okay. Mine's funky and mine doesn't run Pamphlet. And
okay. It probably should, but I mean,
I think it should. You're right. I think it's supposed to have. I put Minwood in here, but there's some. I think those are supposed to be forums.
There are certain decks that you just can't beat if you don't have Pamphlet.
You're right.
Oh, by the way, to the person that commented on the video last week, thank you for making a comment. Blue is here to teach you things, and if you're still on vacation, enjoy another video. I think I'll put it up. I'll try to put it up on YouTube on Friday next week. So it'll be on Twitch for like a couple days first.
Yeah, but this one is like me trying to learn the deck as opposed to me like actually knowing how to play the deck. Because I've played the mono water deck for a while now, and I just like understand how to play sort of the slower matchups a lot easier. The faster matchups they just sort of elude me because I really hate taking risks. And a lot, and with the ice deck, you actually kind of have to take a lot of risks because like sometimes you're just gonna get blown out by EXs, right? Which is actually kind of what happened that last game as well, or some of the other previous games. And then sometimes they'll just have cards that just answer you really, really well because there's a lot of good cards that punish aggression in this game, like your Noctises and your Galdezes. Kill everything.
Daluma's a big deal. Yeah,
Noctis,
yeah, Daluma is a problem too.
Noctis is really good against ice.
Yeah. But like it's just absolutely terrible against like literally every single other deck. Yeah. Like the wind water, the water deck.
Yeah. Think about throwing him into my night deck because Lady also activates him.
Because he's a prince. Yeah.
Because he's a prince. So because Clady's becoming one of my favorite cards just because it deals with a lot. Even though it's not very good. It's just I like it a lot because first of all it's 11. Searchable with Star Civil. I was thinking briefly about making a Fasoya Earth Water deck. And just abusing the heck out of Noctis. Because again, damaging yourself is pretty good.
All right.
Let's see how this.
Who's going first and who's going second?
I will go second. I have Yuna, but not any other backups.
I kind of want to keep this.
Wait, what are you doing?
I was like, Squall good shenanigans.
Well,
All right, I'm gonna try it.
Sometimes it is the play,
This
right?
is pretty bad.
All right, let's try it.
Like if the other cards are useless or not cards you want to see anywhere.
Yeah,
near
let's
your
try it.
Game, then it might be good to get rid of them and to.
YOLO. All right.
Yeah, mine's also terrible.
Discard 2, please.
You have to say please. That's when you should.
Go ahead.
Put a
Actually,
smile on your
think
face.
I want to do this. There we go.
Your turn.
This is not an official Square Enix stream, so I can eat.
I just want to try it, right? I mean, that's what these games are for, right?
But I think it's good that way we get your perspective, your point of view as a, control player, and you can kind of see what you think about certain hands and certain matchups, and like.
Actually want to.
Well, the problem is I actually don't know how to play this deck, right? I just legitimately don't know, and I want to try all the different ways because like there are. Sure, that's fine.
Well, if you don't try now, you'll never get the chance, right?
Yeah. Although I think I'm in trouble now. Actually. No, you sure the poo poo? Why not the Fanford?
I don't have hammer in here. Remember?
Oh wait, what? Oh okay.
No.
Then you should consider Kuchelane instead, right? Or even better, the Leviathan if you have any more.
I seriously.
You drew both of them. Unfortunate.
I think I have. Maybe I have one more.
Do you have another Cooch? I mean, Boo Boo's fine too.
I have another Cooch lane. Okay, I guess for the card draw.
Yeah. I'll draw 2. Attack.
Yeah.
Which I should shrink? This one?
Yeah. No, that one.
That one? Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. Sure. Go ahead. Shrug. Attack. It's a 9. It's still going to get over your cat.
He will be over my cat. You're right.
9. Good. Oh, you lied. You said you didn't have any more.
I guess I had one more. And if you had attack,
You should have. No, you should have. You should have put it on top of your deck. That means I couldn't make that attack.
you're right. That would have made sense.
You lied.
Warning.
Go ahead. Is that a warning in this game?
Well, I mean, so you lied about having another copy of something? Did you fail to find?
No.
Then, well, you don't have to tell him what's inside your deck. So, yeah.
I mean, I'm ripping the last card in your hand, so. Good.
But, I mean, if you were in Top Cut, you saw your deck list, you say, oh, you don't need to look at, in my break zone, I only have that left. That would be bad.
I mean, you slam the Halicarnassus, you don't look back, right? I don't think you have any choice in this matter.
Yep. And go ahead.
Enter combat. Attack.
Attack.
Great.
Yep.
Shoot.
Yep.
Go ahead. Interesting.
Actually,
No Sarah FFL?
Yeah, I think that is what I do.
Yeah. Because I don't know what you get here. Do you get
Ferris.
Ferris?
And then after...
Oh, Ferris is a Warrior Light. What?
And then reveal top 5.
Okay.
And grab category 5.
Okay.
So... That's category 5.
Nidus? Okay. Winner?
Go ahead.
Some good ones here. Enter combat. Attack.
I think we just searched for many last night.
Team?
I'll block with Cagnazzo and kill Laguna.
Sure. Trade. I'm in trouble here, I think. Good.
Yeah.
No. Yep. Okay.
Ferris is now 8k. Because if Lena's out,
Yeah, that's
he
fine.
goes 2K.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh wait, I can't do that. I have to hold on to this. I realized. Don't freeze.
Yeah.
Attack.
Trade.
Unblockable.
Oh, okay.
Dive. Go. Unfortunate. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, do I slam the Waka or do I slam the Cloud? And
Kill the lock. 100% you kill the lock.
Yeah.
Because if I draw another lock, you're dead, right?
you're right. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got it.
Cool.
I don't know how did that game get out of hand?
Well,
I
you
felt like I had that pretty solidly early on, but
Some good top decks, and then hitting. If the Ferris whiffed, then it would have been over. Even then, I had 2 Lenas in the damage zone.
yeah. The Ferris hitting was pretty good.
So again, you get a backup, get Ferris out, and then you get a card. So with Sarah FFL, it ends up being pretty good value. And only run the 1.
Right.
What do you
I'm
think
just trying to think about like how I win that game.
What do you think about Starter Waka?
Starter Waka?
The one with status rails.
It means that you don't get to play the other.
But with
Waka.
the new water monster, if you play the new water monster, then anthems don't matter as much.
Or like I think anthems will still matter, right? And like even if you're playing mono water and you're playing that card, I think you still want the Waka, right? Because even if you don't have that card, right, you still want to be able to have your cards be comparable to theirs.
Yeah. Sure.
So I don't know, because like the other Waka also it just adds power, right? And it also gets shut off with the. So like if you're under the assumption that you're playing with the new monster, right? Then the other card's gonna get shut off as well.
Yeah.
The starter walk is gonna get shut off as well. So it's like it doesn't really matter, right? And might as well play a really, really powerful backup, right?
Yeah.
Because like the problem with the starter Waka is his name is Waka.
Yeah,
right.
And that's the thing is like I think it's a super good card because when he attacks, he buffs one target by 1k for every forward, and then which is like a reverse Cloud Darkness, which again is really good in my opinion. But that would get shut off if you have this water monster out. However, the status reels for 1 Waka, and again I think he would be good in. I'm beginning to kind of have a thing for Water Earth. I think Water Earth can be pretty good.
Okay.
That is a good opening hand for you.
That game I went Squall Laguna, right? I think that's what happened is I played Squall Laguna.
This is a snap keep.
All right, I'll keep
100%.
this. Yeah.
Did you go first that last time? Or
Oh yeah, I went first.
Okay, I'll go first then.
Okay, sure. If you want, go for it.
Yeah. That is...
I think so. What happened last game is I went Squall Laguna. No, I think you pitched Double Knight.
Pitch both knights?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can bring you can buy back the knights, right?
You're right. I can trust you. I trust you.
Okay.
Go ahead and go one.
No, you pitch one of the other two. Porum actually will get you other cards.
You're right.
So I think you just put this.
Yeah. Because I'm not playing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Search for knight and pass turn.
Do you have any other standard units?
No. Just knights. Standard unit forwards, no. Because, I mean, again, it's like Chemist is the... Like, you play Astrologian, but Chemist is the exact same card, but it's category 5, so it's also searchable by Ferris. That's why I find very good.
Good?
Yeah. And now I'm, like, thinking I should have kept the Leviathan. I think I go and do pass turn.
I mean, I'm obviously not walking into
Titus.
Right, so... Enter combat? Attack?
Well, I saw you search it, so I'm going to let it go through.
Sure.
EX.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Cooch for sure. And then use it for one. And I'll pitch a card, which would be Knight.
Seems okay with me. Go ahead.
Yep. So I think I have to play for Soya.
You don't have to.
I think it'd be a smart move to do that. And then I think I pitch these two to play Ferris. You know what? I think I should have Titus that last turn.
The Titus? Yeah, you probably should have played the Titus.
I should have
right? And then you just play it for free?
Play it, and then I would have had it, and then you
No, if you played it, I would have knocked both of the cards out of your hand, right? Because I would have knocked the other two cards out of your hand, right?
Which I think I probably would have been okay with. Because
let's rewind, right? So you drew these two, right? So let's say this was your board position, right?
Yeah, and this was off of I got this off of the Porum.
Okay. Yeah. So
Porum will be back here, we'll do this, and then I just top decked along with this one. And so I had the knight in my hand.
Yeah. But yeah, the order actually matters though, because you got this off the top, right? Yeah. But you also had these two as well, right?
Yes.
So I don't remember what order it is.
Let's rewind because I think that's right.
But then so if you do this
1, 2, 3,
right, then I actually do this before you you get to block, right? Yeah. And then you hit the Porum. Exactly. The only reason why this worked out for you is because you hit the Porum, right?
Yes.
Not because of anything else, right?
Yeah. And so pitch one card. I put the Cooch lane back.
Right.
That I drew up for him, and I had 3 cards in hand.
Well, no, you hit this off the Porum. And you had 2 cards in hand, right? One of them being.
I think I might have just drawn the Yuna. Either way, if you're gonna, I can pitch my whole hand, and I'll just draw 2 again.
But you still take the Porum hit, right? You still get the Porum.
You're right, yes. And so Porum goes, and then 1, 2, 3, and then. Okay, so at this point, I actually don't want for Soya. I think I want Cloud of Darkness.
Okay.
And
this is already stripped, right?
Yeah, and I already stripped that one.
Yeah, because you're gonna keep whatever is left over. So yeah, go ahead.
Cool. I think that was right. So a good rewind there. Because there's the Ferris and there's a Cooch lane, which I think is good. So
Aren't you in the worst position now?
I don't think so. I'll go ahead and swing with Titus.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Do you have an astrologian?
I don't.
Well, then I just attack you, right? And then you just lose a card?
I can Scholar. Tap 3, play him back.
Sure. Oh, yeah, I'm going to take my turn.
Yeah.
No, I think push chat's dead. Maybe I'll turn it off because it's a waste of power. Right, Bauer power.
Yeah, so that's what was the play I was thinking. So you can't swing here safely.
Probably
And
not.
even if you freeze him, I can just do the same thing.
Yeah, Titus makes things a little awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, this is better. Let's attempt to freeze.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, pass the turn. Good.
Yeah. I think I go. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 1, 2. This will reduce by 4, and then that's not enough.
Oracle, right?
Yep, was the target. Okay. And I think I pitch Brawn to the Oracle.
Sure.
I don't play as many crackables as you do. Then 1, 2. I think I leave those both there. So as if you attack into me. But I think I put the one that gives me a card on top.
Sure. I'm gonna take my turn.
Yeah, go for it.
Does it look okay? Does it look too bright? Looks kind of good.
Actually, I like this. Discard.
Yeah.
Don't freeze.
Yep.
Enter combat.
Yep.
Attack.
Let's balance Orphan.
Sure. Draw a card. Discard.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pitch. I should have switched these Leviathans, huh? Because the draw off of it. Okay, I'll pitch Kuchling.
Attack.
Yep.
Go. You know about this, so.
So Bethel's crack this to get back Knight.
Wait, why? Oh yeah, I guess
And
that's
then
fine. Yeah.
Cloud Darkness.
Sure.
I think I want Genesis.
Sure. Minor.
Yep, go ahead.
Don't freeze. Attack. Knock the card out of your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think you're now. Yeah.
Oof, that's pretty good. I need that.
Go ahead.
Enter combat.
Yes.
Attack. Freeze.
Okay. Frozen.
Trade.
Activate.
Sure.
And yeah, let's go ahead and yeah, I'll just take that damage. That sucks.
Discard. Yeah. Good.
Should have blocked with Ferris. Swing first.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead.
I drew a good one. I drew two good ones. Into combat. Locked on the Ferris.
Yeah. Why do you choose Ferris?
Because there's my only option is freeze.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not
dual
freeze.
freeze. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Block with 9.
Sure.
Actually, you know what? I'm at 5. Let's go ahead. I mean, I'm worried that if you have a lock, I need to block here because if you have a lock, then I lose.
Yeah, you actually do. Main 2.
Mm-hmm.
Don't freeze. Pass. And that's good. Yeah. I think you went a little bit too aggressive. I think as long as you hit your late game, you're fine, right? So I don't understand why the attacking makes sense there, right? Because like you're not the beatdown, right?
Yeah, I think I honestly, I bounced the wrong target. I bounced the Orphan. I should have bounced the other one. I would have saved me a point of damage and a card.
Yeah.
And so again, that was
you should have bounced the yeah.
I haven't seen Walk in these past 2 games. He's in here. I have 3 of them,
but I don't think the walk actually makes much of a
huge
difference.
difference. Block with Cloud Darkness becomes a Night King.
Yeah, but the thing is, like the like even in that game, like I think that you could have made like a lot more aggressive bounces, right? Like you could have bounced the
And I mean, you look at my opening hand I had too. There's a Kuchulain too. So I think I misplayed a lot there. I think that was my game to lose.
Yeah, for sure. Like I didn't feel good at all during that whole entire time, right? And just like having a whole bunch of like you have like 1,000 Leviathans, right?
Yeah.
So like that's just really hard for me to get past.
Yeah, and on top of that, I mean,
and you should never have attacked ever.
Yeah.
Like the only time you attack is if you can kill something with the Cloud of Darkness, right? You just sit back and like why leave yourself open? Because you let me have a whole bunch of free attacks just by virtue of you having your guys tapped, right? Mm-hmm. And like even leaving back your Titus for it to block is also really good too because you can block bounce, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll keep this.
I actually think I keep this too.
Okay, so who's going first?
I'll go first.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and actually, you want to keep the poo for now. Actually,
it's not good to hold it in.
I'll bridge into Walker for Soya.
Yeah, seems okay. Wow, this hand's actually turning out to be not very good. Good. Wait, did I draw 2? Yeah, I drew 2. Okay, that's pretty good.
Bridge into Soya.
Sure. Well then, I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, this just seems good for me. Knock. Go ahead.
That top deck.
That top deck, though.
Go ahead.
Search.
Yep.
Knock.
Mm-hmm.
Attack. And knock, by the way.
You're.
With
oh,
the
you did. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Sure. I think I'm okay with this, actually. Attack.
Okay. And then target. That doesn't. No targets.
Yeah,
Okay.
nothing.
Okay.
Sure.
9K.
Yeah.
Okay. Block.
Yes.
Yep.
Search.
Mm-hmm.
Graph one. Discard this or this. Go ahead. Sure. Brick.
Go ahead.
Draw one, draw two. Knock. Enter combat.
Mm-hmm.
Don't freeze.
Damn it! One fucking card off.
Missile. Search.
Mm-hmm.
One. Pick up.
Better. Go ahead.
Matter?
Yep.
Draw one, two, draw two.
Mm-hmm.
Knock. Don't freeze.
Yeah.
Go. Target?
Vein.
No, it doesn't come in play tapped. It just enters as such. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Vein?
Yeah, vein and then
Knock. Sure.
bounce.
Whew. That was brutal.
Go ahead.
My turn? Draw one.
Oh wait, swing.
There's some nice ones, not gonna lie. My turn?
Yep. Yeah, the thing is with water is you just have way more outs. Mm-hmm.
Don't freeze, don't freeze. Actually, I'll defreeze this instead. This and that.
Okay.
And then knock.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Sure. Sure.
Go ahead.
Minor?
Yeah. Why did I shuffle it? Oh yeah, because I searched for it.
No, did hot.
Nines? They're nines, right?
9K, yeah. How do you want to?
These two.
Yeah.
Go. These are tapped. Sure. Would you like to put on top? Oh, that goes on top of your deck, right?
Yes. So.
Sure.
Wait.
Yeah, that's fine.
Kuchline here. Draw a card.
Sure.
Go.
Runner?
Oh, attack.
EX? Although
If you have to have
although
swallow, right?
No, it's just dulse.
Dulce. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Draw one or two.
Just need to get that lockout.
Can I see your grave?
Yeah.
Do you have any more?
I have one knight in there.
You have a knight? Unfortunate. Yeah, I think I'm dead here. But I have to try it.
Mm-hmm.
Good? Yeah, that's game. That's very much game. Alright. You just and you had me on board anyways, so unfortunate. That was close though.
That what, dude? See, that's the thing with water. Like when I'm playing you with your water deck, it's like you're like, oh, I got this. I was at 6 damage. You were at 0.
Yeah,
and came back.
well, I mean that's what the aggressive decks, right? If you like manage to stabilize, then it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. That's what I like about Oracle is because look at top 2. Okay, cool. There's an EX right there. Now I can sway it. Or if it's not, okay, well I'll just wait. Again, the Brawn helped me search out the Knight. And then obviously getting the Kuchulain got me the extra card draw to play the Cagnazzo, which I was thinking, I was like, okay, I think that's the better play. 7k there, did this here. And instead of just killing off one, I can kill off both.
Right.
I think that
was pretty good, like being able to kill off both, because like otherwise I would have to be like if I had one or the other, I might have been able to push for lethal if that were the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll be on the play.
Yeah, so this will be the last one.
Sure.
I gotta meet my. Shoot.
Do you have to leave now?
No, we're meeting there at 6:30. It's
Okay.
in Santa Clara.
Okay, that's not bad.
Are
you sure you have
Tungsoon
enough time?
Garden?
The what garden?
Tungsoon Garden in Santa Clara.
Never heard of it. Is it good?
Actually, you know what? I probably should be done. That's
Okay, yeah, you probably
good
should.
one to end on.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I learned that whatchamacallit, I really don't like this deck. Like it's like aggressive decks are just not my thing, right? Like
Yeah, take a peek at that one. Again,
like I already know what's in it, and I mean I don't like this version because I don't
Yeah.
like Ferris.
yeah,
Right?
I know you don't like Ferris, but the thing is that I like Ferris because Knights. Again, it'll grab Knights and then Chemist, which is pretty much like you play Astro, but Chemist is in there and it does the exact same thing.
Yeah, but you're basically forced into playing Oracle, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking about.
I don't like playing Oracle.
That's why I'm thinking
That's
about
the
playing one Famed Mimic, because one Famed Mimic gets cost 1, and then it makes your for 1 it'll make your Cloud Darkness. do 2k more.
Yeah, but I'd rather play like something like Arcanist,
Yeah, and something
right?
that'll help you get ahead. Yeah,
Right. I mean, the builds are functionally different, right? Because if you're playing Ferris, right, it actually forces you into building in a really specific way, right? You're forced to play Chemist, which is fine because it's just Astrologian, right? We're still playing the same card. But you're also basically priced into playing Oracle as well. And then you're priced into playing other fives that you not necessarily like. They're like a little bit suboptimal, right? Like Fabian Mago and something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like it all that much. And I also don't like the 4-drop. Oh, actually, I don't like Fusoya in general, right? Because Fusoya makes you build your deck in a specific way. You're basically forced into playing some specific cards, or you'll have some games where you'll just like draw multiple copies of Fusoya and die.
Kind of like, I'll say combo, but worse. It makes you take a bunch of room in your deck for the full package, but in Fusoya, it's a light card, so you can't even discard it for CP. So it's... You're forced into a specific build.
Yeah. So after playing with this a lot, you probably beat like a lot of really slower water matchups, right? And if they don't have a fan favorite, you just like sometimes roll over them. But like, I just like don't like being consistent. So, I definitely don't think this is the deck for me. And I don't even think it's a bad build. Like the build is actually pretty strong. Like you get to do some pretty powerful things.
And that's the thing. That's all that I want. Is I want again. Like I'm not by no means am I a good deck builder. And so that's like just like kind of like that night deck I built with the lead and everything. It's like it won a couple times against Ice, but that's because it has so much reactivation. Because Clady reactivates, and then
right. Well, and also this deck just doesn't do well against certain things, right? Like it just can't be a Noctis, right? It can't be some of these other things. And like even if I'm like knocking cards out of your hand with like Sephiroth or whatever, like sometimes you just like play backups, take a couple of hits, right? And then you just build a board and then kill me, right? That's kind of basically the story of like every single game that I've lost, right? Where like either you'll like, oh, actually no, it's because you're also playing walls in that deck too, right? You can just go like turn one. Turn one wall and then the game is over, right?
Yeah, because again, it's just like you can freeze it, but he doesn't need to be active to get value.
Right. Yeah, it's just you.
How am I doing? I feel like we should just call this like learning time, like Bauer learning time.
Yeah,
because I'm the one who's learning.
That's the point. I mean, we're both learning, right? Because like in this, like for the water matchup, right? Obviously, like I know all the lines, right? But in this one, I obviously don't know all the lines.
Yeah, and
where
that's the thing is like one thing that I noticed that you kept doing was you kept pitching like when you have Hurley out, then the turn 2 is tap Hurley and play Edward. And they lose a card, and it just costs you 1.
No, but the thing is, you actually typically want to play like in this situation. If you have a lock as opposed to an Edward, you play the lock first, right?
I think. I mean, again, take it with a grain of salt, but I think you overvalue the lock. I think you are highly overvaluing the lock. Though I will say, when you get Lock Genesis on board, and I can't get a board because you have Duke Larg out, then it's really hard because AK, like the difference between 7K and AK is just astronomical. Especially again because Dottaluma deals with like that pretty well, but again, when you go to 8K, it's like okay, now it's a little bit harder to manage, and then the
problem is you need the momentum in this matchup, right? Like for example, like so if you like if there are hands where I have like this, and then like I have a forward, a backup, and then a lock in hand. And then some other cards, right?
And something that I think that would be worth it for you would be if I open double backup on turn 1, that puts me down to I have 2 cards left. So double backup, 2 cards in hand. What I think would be worth it for you would just pitch 4 cards, play Sephiroth. You have 1 card in hand. I have no cards in hand, and you have a forward on board. And so if I'm not top decking, you're going to be able to lock me down.
Yeah, but the thing's like in those like a lot of times you actually have 1 card left in hand, right? So you actually have 3 cards. Right?
Well, that's the thing is if I go first, then I have 6 cards, pitch 2, play 2, then I'll have 2 cards left.
But what happens there is I'm pitching 3 for 2, right? Yes, I do have 1 card, right? But what happens is if you pitch 2 and you manage to bridge on turn 3, the game is over for me actually, right? Like you draw a 2-drop backup and you bridge, right? You still have 1 card in hand and you have 3 backups to my 1 and my forward. The game is over.
But I think the follow-up to that is like, okay, now I have Argath. Now I play Argath. Now you still have no cards in hand, and then if I play forward, then I'm pitching.
I only have 1 of Argath, right? like I would have to draw like a Flan or a Argath, but even then, like I'm still pitching. I'm trading 1 for 1, right? And my guy is not very good, right? So eventually, I draw and play a 3-drop. It blocks the Argath. It like you might even be able to trade with the Sephiroth, right? Yeah. It's just like the game actually gets pretty out of hand for me really quick.
And I think that's something that I'm noticing because the games that you did the best was you were only on 2 backups.
Yeah, well,
because
and also
you can off 2 backups you play Genesis. Again, you got value off lock, and then again you just keep ripping cards out of my hand because I can't catch up.
Well, let's actually take a look at this board state real quick. Just like if I'm like this, right, and I have 3 cards in hand, one of them being a Mateus, a Edward.
13.
Well, you do have to go. Sorry. But just real quick, right?
This is super good though.
No, you have to play the lock here, right?
Another one.
You're forced into playing the lock.
You can show
When summoner enters the field, choose 1 lightning forward until the end of turn against haste and first strike.
You kind of there you go around here.
So that seems pretty good to me.
2 cost,
2 drop backup. In Lulu deck, that's
okay. And then what does it do?
So when summoner enters the field, choose 1 lightning forward until the end of turn against haste and first strike. So that's a Lulu backup if I've ever heard one.
No, it's actually like the fire lightning,
like
decks, right?
It's unbreakable and only does something on turn comes in.
Yeah, but like there's a sage, but this is even better than the sage, right?
Yeah.
But
big fire feel bad. It looks sage. You can get.
I actually
haste.
think
I think that once it comes again, that's you play it.
Yeah.
You play it. You have first strike. You attack. You go in, and then next turn you can break it to make room for another one. I think Lulu decks are actually we might see more because Argy came back last set, which was
I mean
when he broke, he did stuff.
Even with all that, like
Where
it's
do you get
too
these?
slow.
Where'd you get these?
Oh, that was from doing Crystal Cup stuff.
Man, so nice.
okay. Well, anyways, let's look
putting
like
it on the board.
You guys
Anybody
keep it
wants to
up.
talk?
But thanks for the games, man. Thanks for teaching me and thank
No problem.
Yeah. No, I learned a lot. I know that like this is just like really outside my comfort zone.
I was playing this deck yesterday, so I kind of knew a lot of the lines, but you're playing it way different than I was playing it, and that's what's crazy is that 2 people playing the same deck have 2 different lines.
Right. I'm also trying a whole bunch of things, and like I've found a whole bunch of things that didn't work. Like opening Swall Laguna in the dark actually just like feels really bad, even though sometimes you want to do it. Like it's something worth trying. Yeah.
But it's different because it used to work when we had Turbo Discard. You had like 3 Thaumaturge and maybe like 1 or 2 Argath in there, right? And so you would be able to keep the pressure on. Now it's not enough, right? Like even if you have an AK, like Sephiroth, and you discard 2 of their cards, like you're dealing 1 point of damage a turn. You're not dealing 2 or 3, and so you're not closing the game fast enough for them not to recover.
Yeah.
So that's why he was saying like, if you're able to bridge on your second turn and after that keep a card in hand, like I'm pretty screwed. I have a forward out, but like you got 7 turns. If I don't play another forward, if you're able to deal with each forward I play, then yeah.
All right.
See
you guys later.
Nice seeing you.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can do it again in the future.
When you get the cam promos in, I just need one. Just need one.
I already have
I need one.
You have one?
Yeah, I have one. It's foil.
You got the foil one?
Yeah, I won last Friday.
Dude, awesome. Because I need one. I don't care if it's foil or not because you can't really tell. But I just need at least one because you only play one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you get this, if you guys.
They only give 1 foil now.
Wait, only 1 foil?
Oh no,
Yeah,
2 foil per like whole lot. So you have
there's 2 lots though, right? Basically, two things, like 2 packs in 1 lot, right?
No, I think they just give you like
there's only 1 in the
foil
lot.
Yeah,
and
2.
2.
I just haven't been able to go on Fridays, and I won't be able to go on Friday. I'm lucky
We'll try to
enough
figure
be
it
able to
out.
pre-release this weekend.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll catch you guys later.
All right,
Alright,
take
see
it easy,
ya.
man.
But yeah, like one of the things I noticed was that like even though I kept ripping cards out of his hand, like it was
just
super
wasn't
easy
enough.
for him to recover, right?
Yeah, because you're not. So normally you're closing out the game by damaging him fast enough.
Right.
You can't do that anymore. Thaumaturge and Jasper aren't here, so you don't have the constant don't have to use any cards in hand in order to discard cards from their hand. And even if you're able to do that, you don't have enough damage pressure, right?
Yeah.
Where you talked about your 6 elements of board states. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I can't
it's
sap
just-
away enough of their card advantage. And in order for them to stymie, to make inefficient trades for efficiency and gas, right? Because honestly, it's just like they're always trading for efficiency in this matchup, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they just all they need to do is like they hit 3 to 4 backups, stabilize the board, right, and the game is over. right? Because then I don't have, because then what happens is I'm trading really, really inefficiently for like tempo and card advantage, and then I'm actually not getting anywhere because I can't push through, right?
Yeah,
because I can't convert it to damage.
Even if you do push through for damage, you're like, okay, well, I got 1.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I got 2, I got 3. So even if you had like, a full suite of the Opus 3 Shivas, it's just, okay, and I get 1 point of damage.
Right.
So like, okay, what was that for?
Yeah, because like what happens is like you'll see me like trade cards for tempo, and sometimes that tempo can be converted into life or card advantage, right? Like knocking cards out of their hand, right? But the problem is like then they just like play multiple creatures, and then like I have to expend even more cards to get past even more of the cards that they have, right? Yeah. So like once they get to like 3 to 4 creatures, like life gets pretty hard for me. And like it's actually like. It seems like they do a pretty good job of just like getting to 3 to 4 creatures pretty consistently, unless I go like lock Genesis and just like pa and just like make it so that they can't ever have cards in their hand, right? But like even those games, like there were some games where like I played lock Genesis and then he had just had like he discarded a couple of cards, or like he had a Dataluma that just like shut down this whole entire offense, right?
Yeah, or a wall, and all of a sudden like he put out a couple backups, you only have 1, and then you're like, okay, well I'm getting really screwed.
Yeah,
you're losing out and you're not about to catch up. So
well, and also what the Earth deck can do is just be on 0 backups, right? And just go okay, on the draw I go creature and then the game is over, like straight up over. You can't do anything about that, right? I mean, you saw that in one of the games where he's like, oh, I have no backups, but I can just go like forward, and then
that's when the difference between 7,000 and 8,000 really comes in too, where it's like, oh well, do I party attack? It's like, yeah, that's gonna get bad. That's gonna get bad real quick, because you'll lose a forward now, and then next turn you'll lose a forward too, and all you did was take out one of their forward. It's like, no, that's really bad.
Yeah, like I mean, if there was a Crystal Cup, right, which there should be, right, Square Enix, if you're listening, I would love a Crystal Cup right now because I love to play competitively, right? You Square Enix. I love Crystal Cups. I want to make that clear. I want more of them, right? And I really wish we had one this season, right? I think that I would not take this deck to a Crystal Cup, right? Because it's just like you will, like there are some really, really strong openers, right? You will get some games, right? But the problem is like you like a lot of the matchups that are supposed to feel really good actually don't feel really good at all, right? Like for example, you'd think that as an aggressive deck you'd be really good against the water decks where you're playing a whole bunch of things and you're like being super aggressive and then you just like run them over, right? You actually get like more percentage points than like most other decks. Like you probably would be like 30-70 against most water decks, or like 40-60, right? But even then, like if you like you'll get some games, right? But that's still like across the board you'll have like some really, really terrible matchups. Like Earthwind seems really, really terrible, right? The sort of the mono Earth NorCal special, you're not gonna get anywhere, right? They just go 2 forwards and then like, the game is over and you can't even attack them.
Even Wind Water's not great either.
No, Wind Water actually felt pretty okay. It wasn't that bad.
Like with the Fanfrits don't.
Oh, if they have Fanfrits, then the game is not.
Yeah, because normally Wind Water would have Fanfrit, right?
It depends on which build. Okay. If they're less dependent on water, then yeah. And also like John's build is really, really weird in terms of Wind Water. So it's like some list from some other. Some other country, right? Yeah, or some other area, right?
Yeah.
I really don't like that build. I'm actually okay with the Earthwind build that he has. Maybe short of Galdes, right? But even then, Galdes
How
is
many
pretty
Galdes
good.
is he running? 2?
Running 2, right?
I still feel 1's enough.
Yeah, I think it's a little excessive, and I also think
he's not really being aggressive. So the Galdes, the Galdes is okay on defense, but also the amount of times he might lock up your hand is just you have to limit the amount of times it happens, right?
Yeah, and also the random Chalinka is just bad, I think. But I mean, it's just a one-off, right? And that could be easily changed to something else that would be significantly better, right?
Correct.
But like the rest of the deck seems pretty reasonable, right? I mean, it's just pretty stock Earthwind. Yeah, like I just don't know how to like. And part of it is like I don't feel like I know how to play this deck. And part of it is just like you have to be like. Be willing to take risks that I normally am not comfortable with taking.
Well,
right?
that's definitely part of it, right? Like normally, you're on the other side of the table where you're staring at somebody taking those risks, and you're like kind of laughing in their face, right? Because you're playing a deck that is able to handle the pressure.
Well, yeah, but also, like a lot of times the slower decks are a lot less lower variants, right? Because what happens is with the aggressive decks, right, it's actually pretty dependent on whether or not they hit EXs, right? If they hit up like 3 EXs, you're actually just straight up dead as an aggressive deck, right? Because they can actually use the EXs to either get more cards or stop your offense, right? And if they stop your offense, then you actually just can't win because you have to hit like you have to make it mass. Yeah, you have to hit like a critical mass of either like tempo, card advantage, or board advantage, or card advantage, or damage in order to actually just win the game, right? But if you can't, if they just get to cast free cards and just be significantly more value, like generate more value than you, just by virtue of hitting EX bursts, then like you just straight up lose sometimes, right? That's true. And that's just like not okay because like the slower decks like. Yeah, they'll like let's say they even hit 6 out of 7 EX bursts, right? If you're playing a slower deck and you've like card advantage them out of the game, 6 EX bursts actually won't get them back into the game, right? Because you're just so far ahead, right? Yeah. It's not the case with the ice deck, right? Yeah. It's one of the reasons why I don't like to play the aggro decks as well because
it might not fit the meta at all right now. Being aggressive against some of the cards that are currently popular in meta, or even the pool of cards that's available to you, your options at being aggressive are just not good enough.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's like a couple of decks that are pretty good. Like, I mean, there's like Dawn Warriors is like reasonable, but it folds to like Vayne. There is like
Vayne's not very popular right now, anyways, right?
In the ice decks, sure. I mean, like the Ice Earth probably plays a one or two copies. But like who's playing Ice? I mean, Ice Earth. Oh, JFB just played Ice Earth, right? In Germany, I think. Okay. Yeah. So like he was on Ice Earth, or at least that's what I heard. That's what he told me. And then I know that sort of the SoCal guys really like to play Ice Earth as well, right? Yeah, they're always
on and off. Same with Hunter Nance, I think he's fond of the Ice Earth.
Right, I mean, like Okamoto, McGinty, and Brian Berkeley, boys. Right? The Meta Potion boys, right? Yeah. Shout outs to them. They also really, really enjoy like Ice Earth. I mean, I personally really don't like Ice Earth, but that's just because I play significantly differently than them, right? And it just I feel like Ice Earth doesn't generate as much value as I would like from my cards.
I think one of the great things about Ice Earth though is you're able to search out that Luma.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That's really great. But
Dalaluma is such a good card. But the problem is like, if you're playing a deck that doesn't care about Dalaluma, then the card is just not as good, right?
I mean, but how many decks don't care about Dalaluma?
Very few. Like the Dalaluma is a pretty impressive card, right?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why even at Fanfare they mentioned like we're keeping an eye on Dalaluma. It's a possibility that we have to do something about it.
Yeah,
but I mean they haven't said hammer. Like, or at least temporarily, right? Like until the other cards come out that might be able to deal with it. But right now, there's not much. I mean, even one of the cards that said like, "Hey, your forwards don't take 1 point of damage, 1,000 damage from sources." Like, if
but the thing is that that card was not designed to stop Dalaluma because it doesn't stop.
Yeah, it was so sad. It was so sad to read it, and you're like, "Oh, if only it worked across the board, like on both sides." And it's like, no, just your own. So if they try to 1,000 damage Cactuar ping you, like you're still there. But that's not what I'm scared of in most games, anyways. So
yeah, if it actually worked on both sides, then that would be insane, right? Because that card actually shuts down Dalaluma, right?
So it would be insane in terms of that matchup, and it would actually change the meta to some extent where Dalaluma is no longer this super oppressive card, because if you play that, I think it was a water backup, right? Like a 2 CP backup or something like that, then you're fine.
Well, but the thing is, like, in water, it actually probably should have been in a different color, right? Because if it was water, you still have Minwu, right? Yeah. And you still get access to Minwu. And then, to be fair, they actually have a card that they can play in reaction to that, which is Hecatonshire, right? Yeah. Or Archer. Mm-hmm. But I think Archer is less good because you have you can play Porum as a protection for that. Yeah. And also you're just trading 1 for 1, and then you could just get back on board with another copy of Minwu. But in that matchup though, like Minwu is like really, really important, right?
All right, so let me think. Let me take a look at my schedule. I don't want to show people online my schedule on my phone. But let's see what we can do for next week. I don't even know if John's available next week too.
I might be. We'll see.
Let's see next week. Well, today's the 9th, no, the 10th. I should be available on 17th, so maybe, depending on you and John, but also it's the pre-release weekend, so I don't know if you want to do something better. I mean, okay. You want to play, you and John 101 Sealed?
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, we'll see if we can get more like
it's up to
somebody
you
else
guys.
or whatever,
Yeah,
right? I mean, I don't know if
yes.
anybody else is willing to actually play on stream,
Yeah.
right? Because I mean, just like, I mean, personally, I don't care if like people see my mistakes or like whether people call me out, or whatever. But like some people do, and like it's not easy to ask somebody to put themselves out there
I'm
like
perfectly
that.
fine with that. I mean,
Right.
it did take a while for us to find like a group of people like you and John that were willing to, you know.
I was always willing.
Yeah. But, like the other people, like their schedule and everything too,
Mhm.
was a little different as well. Their availability was different, and some people just don't quite want to be on stream as much. You know, they're a little bit of camera shy and whatnot. But I think it's good to be on stream because you get to re-watch your plays and think it over, and you know after that is hindsight 2020, and then you're like, okay, maybe I'm playing a little too aggressive for no reason, right? And it's something that you don't see when you're caught in the moment. That hey, I'm playing in this way, in this mindset at that time where. Really, what was I thinking, right?
Yeah.
And being able to catch yourself that way and knowing that it's you and not somebody else, like, oh, look at him playing aggressive, it's different. Because now you have to self-reflect on, like, what was my state of mind at that moment? You know, and when I see that specific situation or something close to it, then in the future, I might, play differently.
Yeah. I just really did not enjoy playing this deck. Actually, I mean, like there were some moments that were cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you slam a turn 1 lock, and then you turn 2 Genesis, and like sometimes the game is over, right?
Yeah.
But like when the game gets out of hand, like it just like you never feel like you can actually like claw your way back after they've turned that corner, right? So. And it's also the decks that he was playing are really good at turning that corner, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Earth Water. I mean, you have a lot of really good Earth cards, and you have Water to sort of like deal with some of the stuff. I mean, like even like the fact that this deck had a hard time against Earth Water sort of shows you like kind of what sort of issues you have with this deck, right? Like I just don't like going into random matchups like where you're automatically like 30-70, 20-80, right?
Yeah, that's. I mean, even if it's not a big part of the meta, Earth Water. Just the fact that like this deck is not super strong against anything in the meta, and it does fall off against some other off builds. So what's the real advantage of playing this deck versus another deck?
Well, I actually think this deck might be pretty good against Earth Water Wind actually.
Water Wind, okay.
Yeah, because like they actually have some really awkward setting up time, and when you do that, you can actually disrupt them pretty hard by just like aggressively discarding cards from the hand, right? But like obviously like. You can just play out of it a lot of the times, and if your deck has been built well, then I think that you do tend to do pretty well.
Yeah. So I mean, another issue is that some of the top decks we would expect at a tournament right now, if we had a Crystal Cup today or tomorrow, would be Earth Wind and Wind Water would be some of the top two.
Well, I think that JFB wrote an article, right? The decks that would be played would actually be what he would say would be Mono Ice, Earth Wind. Wind Water and Mono Water.
Mono Water? Okay.
Yeah. He said I don't think he said Mono Wind was very good.
Yeah.
Or I think he might have written a section about Mono Wind, but then he ends up bringing Ice Earth to the event, right? Which I actually think is not correct. But
that's a personal opinion, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, people are. But there are some opinions that are more the right than others. I'm happy to discuss with anybody if anybody wants to debate whether or not Ice Earth is actually good. But I mean, from my angle, it's just like I feel like Ice Wind is worse than Ice Earth is worse than Earth Wind. Right? In terms of, they do very similar things. They're just like value decks that are really, really grindy and like have really good ways of getting around aggression. Right? But with Ice Earth, you have ways to search Donaluma, but you lose out on free pings with Cactar, and you also lose out on some really good wind forwards and Diablos, right? Those are just like, and also you lose the Semilafina Star Sybil package, which is really, really core to why Earthwind is so strong. Is because you have sort of Star Sybil lets you search up your backups, which is huge, right? And then Semilafina lets you set up your Star Sybil, and the Star Sybil lets you also cheat something else as well. Like Star Sybil is the reason why that deck's even a thing, right?
Yeah, Moogle 11, Camelot, Chaos, like it all has so much consistency to it that
it ties together. Yeah.
And they have a very good synergy package.
Right. They have they do a lot of really, really strong things. Even if you don't play the 11 package, like you can still do some pretty strong things. But I think the 11 package is the way to go right now because just like being able to play Star Sybil is just super duper strong. But that being said, like the Ice Earth deck just feels like a suboptimal version of the Earth Wind deck, where you're trying to do a lot of the similar things, but you're just doing a lot of those things slightly worse. I mean, you're doing a lot of ping damage, right? You're doing a lot of the stuff, right? You kind of just.
I mean, it's just not done the same way, and it doesn't feel as efficient.
You just don't get Diablos. You don't get Diablos.
Well,
you don't
also,
get...
like the Cactuar, like you now have to pay for each of your ping.
Yeah,
it's not just Semalafina having to pay. It's like you don't have a Cactuar, so. You would have to have a Terra pinging your Dialuma in order for things to pull off. So your Dialuma has to be dull. Then you have to pay 1 ICP per ping, and that's with Cactuar would have been like bing bing, and like your Cactuar stays active, and you're like you don't even worry about it.
And then also one of your backups in Simulafina, which is a core part of your deck, is actually worth playing just by itself, and it also has the ability to ping off something else with Dialuma as well. Whereas in the Earth deck. The Earth Ice deck, you may have to play something like Pelennor, right? You have to play it. You basically have to chew up a slot in order for you to actually play it. And then, like, I don't know what you get out of Ice is the thing, right? Like, what do you get from Ice that you can't get from even better than from Wind, right? Yeah. And then also your water matchup is just significantly worse too. Your water and your water wind matchups are just absolutely miserable, right? Like they're even harder than the Earth Wind matchup, right? Yeah. You lose to those decks a lot harder, right? So yeah, that's just what I think in terms of like where it's positioned in the meta, right?
Correct. I agree with you for that. I don't feel like it fits in the conversation of like a top deck right now, but that's my opinion.
Yeah,
and then again, metas vary from place to place. So if it worked, it worked. I can't take that away from anybody. Same thing with like some of the what was it at the Epic Games of Portland Petite Cup? Like Chocobos won. Like what was it, the Ice Wind Chocobos? And same thing at the Nationals, and I'm not taking that away from anybody. And I think that,
but also you have to keep in mind that like some players just like never ever get to meet each other, right?
Yeah.
Like people from NorCal probably just like never will meet people from like Portland or maybe
we'll
see Crystal Cups, right? But like for like a lot of these petite cups, right? A lot of people aren't traveling for the petite cups because there isn't really an incentive for a player to travel, right?
I mean, it's
a lot of money.
Yeah, it's very cost prohibitive.
Yeah. So you'll have a lot of local groups playing in your petite cups, which is great, right?
Which was, I think, the aim for petite cups.
But things like, I mean, you'll like the places that don't get petite cups will probably not have a lot of people that are traveling unless they they're like really dedicated, right? But like for like a competitive player like myself, I really can't like. I'd rather travel for something like Crystal Cups where I can actually win something, which is like a trip to Worlds, right?
Yeah,
like that's pretty good incentive for me. But Petite Cups, there's no real incentive for me as where like I'm like, yes, I'd like to go to events for fun, right? But I'd rather do it when there's something on the line, right? Because
like it's there's real life cost to it.
Oh yeah,
PTO money, and I mean the playtesting and being tired from the event too. All of it. Like
I mean, I wouldn't really practice for a petite cup though, right?
But I mean, if you were to say that, I'm going to go to an event, like, is it really just for fun or you want to be competitive, right? So you want to be somewhat competitive. It's going to take some time to prep.
Yeah.
And you want to somewhat expect what the meta is going to be over there. What's the best deck to play? Probably not mono ice for you.
No. I played a slower deck. I'd play either Scions or mono water or Earth Wind. Probably the three. I'm actually less likely to play Earth Wind because I just like don't know how to play Earth Wind. And also the problem with Earth Wind for me is that a lot of the hands are really, really clunky, right? There's not a lot of options and wiggle room for you to actually make a whole bunch of decisions. The deck kind of just plays itself depending on what hand you draw, right? Yeah. And I really don't like having the autonomy to be able to do something like that. I mean, of course, like there's like some meme decks that'd be like pretty fun to play, right? Like you have like sort of the 5-color rainbow meme deck with Ranger, Phoenix, right? And then you have like your Sid 2 meme decks and your And your, I guess your Mono Earth, NorCal Special meme deck too, right?
You know what? I mean, if you were to tell me that I have to pick an aggro deck between Mono Ice and Mono Earth, I'll probably pick Mono Earth.
It's easier to play. It's easier to play.
It's more consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, the ceiling isn't that much lower, but the floor is much higher.
Yeah, and also it happens like Mono Earth just like straight up rolls most ice decks.
This is one of the cards that a lot of people are talking about right now. The water card that prevents other forwards from getting any kind of power boost from any summon or ability, and I think that's a big deal.
I really don't like that card. Just like it's just from a design perspective. I mean, it's good. It's going to be really powerful. It's going to be really impactful, right? But I just really don't like it from a design perspective because like it just means that a lot of like the powerful things that you're doing just like kind of feel like they don't matter anymore. Like, and also they like. It's great in water because like water a lot of times what they're doing is they're going to be shrinking your guys, right? But also water does a lot of decent amount of buffing if that's what your deck is sort of built around, right? I mean, if you're playing that card, you're going to play that card in a very different deck, right?
Yeah.
And what I really don't like about the card is that card is actually kind of a non-bo with a card that goes best with that card, which
Leo?
is Gao.
Right? Leo also with monsters.
Which one?
Leo, the one cost Earth, that's 1,000 power, but plus 1k for each character on the field.
Oh, Leo, I don't think Leo's good. But I don't think it goes in a water deck either. I mean, in a monster deck, right? Your monster deck's going to be either.
But it is a monster. So it's
Leo's.
No, this is a monster.
Oh yeah,
and Leo kind of works in monster decks because monster decks tend to have a lot of characters on the field at a time.
It's actually really good with Gao. Gao is like if you were playing a monsters deck, right? Gao would actually make a lot of sense.
But not with this monster, so that's the sad part.
Yeah, it's really sad,
but on the same token, like it doesn't have synergies with current iterations of decks that we've seen, like in the meta, right? The current iterations of mono water monsters, or like even Earth water, because you could play Earth since you have Kafka, so it doesn't matter, right? And even all that, so maybe he's gonna start creating his own archetype, like the anti power bonus. I don't think it's a deal. I don't think it's a big deal though. I really don't. Like this card,
it's just a pain. It's really what it is.
It's gonna like it makes me sad because everybody was so hyped for like fire. Oh, it's gonna have all these power boosters and everything, and this card specifically like shuts all of it down. All the 3 costs plus 1,000 power, and even the Archangel like or HM, like it attacks. It gets a plus power boost. No, it doesn't. It's a 6k attacking you, and that hits you twice if it actually hits you. And you're looking at it and you're like, well, hopefully this monster card doesn't work well. And like, so it's gonna keep Mono Fire from being good, because if Mono Fire is ever good, this card's gonna be completely hot. And so that's why I don't think Mono Fire is gonna be able to take off, because if anybody is able to make this card playable, which at a 2-cost monster is not too difficult.
Well, the thing's like I don't even know if the water decks want to play it unless you're in monsters, right?
Yeah.
But even if you're monsters, like it's kind of a non-bow, right?
Yeah, like you don't want to play, but if Mono Fire were to ever be a thing, this card would just smash it, right? Like the Mono Fire that everybody's thinking of, where you have a bunch of power boosters, right? Or Archangel HM, which was one of the big deals that people have been talking about for weeks for Mono Fire, and now you have a card that straight shuts it down, and you're like, oh. Well, there goes those little flittering hopes of Mono Fire, right?
Well, no, Mono Fire actually got a whole bunch of tools besides, like... Yeah. I mean, like, 7k is still a lot, right?
I think it's a 6k, isn't it?
Isn't it a 7?
Archangel is 6.
Oh, really? It's 6 plus 3? Oh, I thought it was 7 plus 3. Oh, okay.
6 plus 3, and then hits twice if it hits.
If it connects, right?
Yeah. So now you have a 6k coming in.
Yeah.
No haste.
No but protection. I don't think a lot of decks will want to play this card. I mean, like, you can if you want to be annoying, but like, I don't even know if there's like a really strong deck with this card.
Yeah.
Because like, then you're kind of like forced into monsters, right? And then you have, then you like will want to play Tomberries, maybe that new zombie whale card, right?
Yeah.
And then you play like your realm and your thing, and you can even play the new Strago as well, right? The monsters deck seems like okay, but like just like not being able to bump up your guys is like what if they play a 9k? Do you just lose, right?
Like Camelot.
Yeah, like they play a Camelot, right?
They
do
call
you just lose?
They call water. You're like, oh, well, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's
like
a good card.
I mean, then do you have to play like Earth and like have to like
Dude,
be
you
in
play-
two colors. Like then it
No,
gets
it's
really
funny.
messy.
You play against Earth Wind, and besides Wall's ability, nothing gives a power boost.
Yeah,
So they don't care.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, I have a Cam, I have Heka, I have all these things, Daluma, and I'm like, I just don't care about your monster that does nothing. And that makes you feel even worse because it's not a backup, so you can't even use it for CP. It's just sitting there, and you're just watching it. And so it's gonna take some building if this card is playable. But I mean, having a card like this that shuts down certain types of decks so hard, it's gonna be, I don't know, it's tough.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's main deckable. I just like don't think it's main deckable, right? Because like I mean, like in my version of Mono Water, where I play a whole bunch of buffs, right? This actually just is a straight nombo for most of my deck, right?
Yeah. Like I mean, it'll shut down like Knights and Waka.
Knights, Waka, Refia, Steiner,
Well, actually, even
Arcanist.
Titus doesn't even give the power boost anymore.
And Titus too, right? I mean, it's just like is a nombo with like so much of my deck, right?
Yeah.
That's like more than like almost half of my deck, right?
So is it worth even creating its own archetype for what it is? And I mean, Mono Water has a lot of power reduction, so that could be helpful, to kind of.
Yeah, if you're like just like a power reduction like deck, right? You
Yeah.
can even play like Arcanist and just like shrink their guys,
Yeah,
right?
it's like, whoop.
Yeah, I mean.
I mean, if there's enough power reduction effects that
Then you
are
just can't
cheap
beat
and reasonable.
Cam is the problem, right? You slam a Cam and the game is over, right?
Well, hopefully you somehow wipe most of their board and after that Famfrit, well, who knows, right? But either way, it seems like too much work. But it's an interesting card. I did not expect this card to exist.
Yeah, I really don't like the design of that card.
Yeah.
Like I guess it's fine. Like I guess people probably complain about Minwoo as well, and Minwoo is fine. A lot of people don't even play it as well.
Yeah.
And like even if you do get to play it, it still seems pretty reasonable because there are outs to it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there are outs to that sort of card. You can kill it or whatever. Maybe you can see in like a water lightning like monster stack. I don't know. That just seems loose. But there's some new lightning cards that are pretty interesting as well, right? There's that new legendary, right?
Which one?
It's the 5-drop legendary. It's like 5 mana.
Yeah.
It's a 4,000, right?
that
and then
was...
when it enters the battlefield, it gets to shoot something for 8k that's active, right? And then it's like got an active ability where you dual 5 lightning backups. You get to shoot something and break it,
Let me
right?
pull it up real quick. Oh my gosh. There's just too many.
I mean,
things.
like it's okay, right? I mean, like it's like you're competing with
it's,
Astidium, but they do very, very different things,
yeah,
right?
In case people didn't know, the other card was from Geeky Villains, and this one is from the Crystal Cup Ice Sakura, which is a 4,000 power forward for 5 that deals 8,000 damage on entry to an opposing active forward. And if you dull 5 active lightning backups, you can choose one forward to break it. So unless you overpay for it the turn it comes into play, then you're not going to be able to do that until the next turn. Because
it's actually a pretty good incentive to play Mono Lightning in draft. But like I think that it's it's okay.
5 active lightning backups. I don't think you're ever going to hit that.
No, Mono Lightning in draft.
Oh, draft. Yeah. That's right. I was thinking sealed or something like that. I'm like, holy crap, you're never going to pull this off in pre-release. Go ahead. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, there's still a lot of cards that haven't been really revealed, and pre-release is next week?
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. I'm kind of excited. I'm more excited for this pre-release than some others because we don't know all the cards. I mean, we know a lot of the cards, but not all of them. So
I think it's more important for like competitive players though to like think about like how this is going to affect the meta, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got some pretty interesting cards. Like you have like the new Zidane that's pretty interesting, right? Actually,
that's a polarizing card. I think a lot of people when we're discussing it, like that Zidane. Let me pull up the Zidane. Like that Zidane is.
I think like a Zidane,
the card of the week Zidane.
So it's either going to be one of the two things, right? It's going to be unplayable, or like not very good, or it's going to be format warping, right? It's going to be one of these two. And I actually think that I'm leaning more towards it being format warping, and I'm actually open to being wrong about it as well. I would actually like to be wrong about it. But the problem with this card is it reminds me too much of Thaumaturge, right? It's like a 2 CP card that is really hard to deal with, and if you let it do its thing, it will just make you very, very unhappy. Yes, Mr. Smellyfinger Zidane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
I guess I forgot. I turned off the auto zoom.
So like typically when you're evaluating a card, you typically don't evaluate its S ability, right? You just like ignore it, right?
So just to keep people in the loop, 2 water CP, 3,000 power forward. Job type genome from the City of Final Fantasy 9. If you have 6 or more cards in your hand, Zidane cannot be blocked. And when Zidane deals damage to your opponent, draw 2 cards. And it does have an S called Solution 9 for discarding a copy of itself and of a Zidane and 2 water CP. Choose 1 forward until the end of the turn. It loses 2,000 power for each card in your hand. So you could definitely shoot things down with it because 4 cards in hand 8,000, 5 cards in hand 10,000. You could reduce it that far, then puts it into the break zone. It's not even just break, so it gets around those unbreakables. And is it going to be playable? You get to be 6 cards in hand, and that does happen here and there, but...
Well, no, so here's what happens, right? Yeah. So pretend you have a Zidane, right? Let's assume this face-up card is Zidane, right?
Okay, let's assume this is a mono water deck.
Yeah, and this is mono water, right? And I draw 5, and I draw up to 5 cards on turn 1. Or 6 cards on turn 1, right? I open with this, right? And I hold it open with the Zidane, right? Here's what happens, right? You can discard and play the Zidane turn 1.
Yeah.
And you pass, right? And then what they have to do is they have to out the Zidane, right? So let's just say that they try to out the Zidane. What happens when they out the Zidane, right? Typically what they have to do is they have to discard 2 cards in order to and then play the card in order to deal with it, right?
Yeah.
The most efficient, some of the most efficient ways to deal with it are they're all in lightning, right? It's play a black mage or whatever. There are ways to deal with this that are pretty efficient early, but they don't happen often, right?
Yeah.
And so and most of the decks that are played right now, like Earth Wind and Wind Water, right? They just can't out this card efficiently. Right, or they trade 1 for 1 for it, right? If best case scenario
is 1 for 1.
Oh, right, they Veil 4, and they're just trading here, right?
Yeah, whether it's a Veil 4 or Famfrit, something like that, you get no bonus out of it.
Right,
you have to have the right card in hand to answer it right away, which could be interesting.
But it's still really hard, right? I would say a good 80% of the answers that typically deal with forwards don't answer this card,
even something like. Well, you could force out Daluma, I suppose.
Right, but even if they...
Actually, no, because if they Daluma, then you could just go up to 6 cards.
Yeah, go up to 6 cards and attack, right? Yeah. And then you already recruit your cost back, right? And if they kill this off eventually, then you're fine, right? And they also discarded 2 cards to play Daluma, and you actually get the first setup with backup still, right? Unless they go double... and you discard 2 cards to play Daluma, and discard another card to play a backup, right?
Because now you're putting all that pressure similar to Turbo Discard used to do, where it was... an efficiency play, right? Somebody was losing cards, but this time you're getting cards. So it's a little bit, it's less oppressive in that sense that they still have the opportunity to play their cards. But
that's if they kill it, right?
No, if they don't kill it, right? They still have the opportunity to try to set up. You playing cards doesn't stop them from playing cards.
Right. So then what happens is if let's say they leave it alone or if they play it forward, right? If they play it forward is the best case scenario for you, right? Yeah. Then what you get to do is you get to draw up to 2 cards and then you get to attack and you get to draw up to 8, right? Then you can actually play 2 backups this turn and then still be in a really, really strong position, right? Then what happens is then they have to still deal with this card, right? They're still in the same spot that they were before. Right?
Hold on. If you play 2 backups off of your 8, was it an 8 card hand?
Yeah, 8 card hand.
Okay, then you're good.
Yeah, then you're good, right?
Yeah.
And you're in a really strong position because you get to play 2. You're still at 2 backups on turn 2.
Now
right?
you're just blowing them out.
Yeah, and then you just get to roll people if you just open with a Zidane, right? Yeah. So then what happens is you have to play a deck that can deal with turn 1 Zidane, or you just get rolled by turn 1 Zidane, right? So that's what I mean by it might be format warping is because if you can't deal with this card early on, then you just straight up lose, right? So then now decks have to be able to deal with this turn 1 Zidane, and some decks that just can't play against turn 1 Zidane will just straight up lose. But it's not even good on turn 1, right? You can also Lena it back, and then they can't, and if they can't deal with this card, and then they'll have to try and force to kill this card, and most of the answers to kill a card like this are really, really deficient, right?
Yeah.
And if you are playing against a deck that is really efficient about killing this, you can just not bring this back and bring back a knight, and then have Minwu, and then they just can't deal with the knight, right? The decks that can deal with a Zidane really easily can't beat a knight plus a Minwu, right? Or a knight plus a Waka, right? Because like, your knight's just gigantic, right? They have to expend a ton of resources to like pair with it or whatever. And so like the best decks that can deal with a card like Zidane is Lightning and fire, right?
Yeah.
And then those decks just like fold to the Minwu, right? So like you already have like coverage that way, and the other decks like, just have a hard time dealing with this. Like the water deck actually can do it pretty well because they have Tomberries, they have like the new, they have Kuch Lane, and they have the Shantoto. But like even then, like the matchup just like is so slow that you build up to 6 backups, and then they're forced to target a card like this,
I'm trying to
right?
think. So Bismarck can return any monster to the hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the problem of mono water of dealing with that, can't get any power buffs. Like you just
you can just bounce back to their hand and then just like get them with a trick, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh, here's a trick. Like you want that.
I mean that's a bit of an aside, right?
Yeah.
But like even with a card like this, right? And then so here's what's great about this card as well. Or with the new Zidane is that if you play it and you connect, it actually feeds into its own ass, right? Yeah. Like if you draw multiple copies, you're just like, oh my god, I'm popping off, right?
Like, yeah. It's like, oh look, you try to put an answer out and like, oh, I'm gonna do -10, -12,
right? And
like very few things will survive at -12,000 power,
right? And like even so, you can actually be pretty inefficient early on with Zidane if you open with Zidane and
that's not even inefficient at all.
Oh no, I mean like in terms of like discarding cards, right? Like you can even go like discard 2 cards, play like a 3-drop backup, like a Waka or a Blue, right? Yeah. And that would still be fine. Like just like connecting with a card is just really, really powerful, and like it even slots in like to like ice water decks, right? Yeah. Like if you play like Zidane's, Locks, and Zidane's, Locks, and Genesis's, right? Like imagine a deck where you just like don't get to block, right? And then you're just constantly getting in for damage, right?
You don't even really need to put that many backups out unless you really have good ones like True Castle or let's say the Harleen to the Edward. Like you just wait until you get those with the Jonah bots and whatnot, and you play your other efficient cards like Genesis or Lock, Gasalia, Spire Sid, and all that stuff, and you just kind of go off a couple backups, go up to 2 to 3 backups stop by the end of the game, and then by turn 3 to 5 you got them down to not that many cards and a bunch of damage. So.
It's just like 2 cards is so much, right? Like we already like see how like backbreaking like just getting a hit by Genesis is, right?
The length that people go to play like the Sid 2 to get 1 card.
Yeah.
And what you have to pay for to get 1 card off of Flan. Like you have to play 1 ICP after you already have a Flan out. You have to dole it to get another Flan, then you get 1 card.
Yeah, and the best part is it's in water, so you can get it back with Flena, right?
Yeah.
That card is just super duper powerful.
I mean, if you're able to do other tricks for like, I mean, you want to count 2 costs. You've also got like Phoenix. I'm not saying that's a good thing, and I don't think it fits into it at all. The 4-cost Phoenix.
Yeah, people are saying like fire, water, like I don't like that. Like I mean, they're just like looking at Phoenix and they're going like, oh, it's a 2-drop. That's really gonna get back. Let's do it, right?
But it doesn't feel like it feeds into each other because then it's like, okay, well, even if you spent all that to get it back, right, and then now you have a 2-drop, 3,000 power, and then that dealt 2,000 power to their board. Didn't kill anything, didn't do anything. Like it doesn't feel like it feeds into its own engine.
Like like I mean, I guess like a fire water like Warrior of Light deck with like, but things like, can you play off of Aegis? It just is. Does Aegis say just put a 2-drop into play, or does it play a fire 2-drop? I don't remember what it says.
Let me check. Some of the things.
Because like if you could Aegis Soul it into play, like that seems reasonable, right?
Yeah.
And then like and I don't know if Godot says you have to put in a fire forward. It
doesn't have to be fire.
It doesn't have to be fire. Oh, you can go Godot into Zidane, and then your opponent's in a lot of trouble too.
Yeah, Aegis is 82 CP.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's pretty reasonable, right? Because like if you go like Aegis into Zidane,
no, but then now you're not gonna get that 6, so you're not gonna get through.
Oh, well, they're forced to play 4s, right?
Yeah.
But no, but things like it means that like you could just open with Zidane and pass, right? Or you can like eventually later on in the game go like Aegis Zidane, right?
But I mean, does the Aegis Zidane feel like a good turn?
It can be pretty reasonable. Like,
but is reasonable good enough to put into a deck that you're taking into competition? See, that's a question too, right? Like,
Yeah.
just because it's possible, like you said, Phoenix, is it good enough to do anything to like move something off of like tier 1 to tier 1.5? Because if we're talking tier 2 and like casual, then that's fine. You could build just about any deck, and that's okay. But
Zidane is just such a powerful
Yeah.
effect when it connects, right?
Yeah.
Because it lets you flood the board even more than you normally do, right? In like the fact that you can go like Godot into Zidane is really, really powerful.
Yeah.
Right? There might be a case for it, because then what you can do is you can play like that Lava Spider card, right? You can play Oh wait, no, you can't. You can't play the monster, but you might be able to play. What other good 2-drops would be pretty good?
I mean, I don't think you'd want Ephemeral Summoner. That probably doesn't fit the bill.
No. Leviathan, Bismarck, like Bismarck seems fine in this sort of deck.
For summons or for
Huh?
Bismarck sounds great. Like,
Yeah.
like Yuna, Bismarck, like sounds great. 1 CP power reduction, like not. There's Ledner in fire. I mean, we're not gonna put a whole deck together here, and I think we're still streaming, so maybe we'll just kind of end it. At this point,
we're
like
offline.
completely off. It's not just that I'm not okay with discussing things. It's like at this point, I don't think it's relevant to the rest of the video and what it was.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean,
We'll just wrap
talk
it up
about
here.
it. But
Yeah.
then at this point, we're imagining a deck that's not part of the meta at all, off of cards that we don't even know much about yet for the next set that's coming out next week. And really, like, things could change as soon as they come out with another card. It's like, oh, okay, you know what, break 2 monsters. Like, forward onto the field, break 2 monsters of cost 2 or less.
I mean, like, I'm not convinced the Fire Water deck is good.
Yeah,
It's just we're just spitballing, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to give people false hope. And it's like, oh, make it so I can see it. It's like, no.
I definitely think this is a mono fire deck for sure, though. This is definitely a mono fire deck.
There's always a mono fire deck. There's always a mono fire deck.
Well,
It's not to say that it's a tier 1 mono fire deck that's going to go to competitions and take down Crystal Cup, but there's always people building a mono fire deck and taking it out somewhere.
Yeah, I actually think that there's going to be a mono fire deck that is going to be like either tier 1.5 or 2, right?
Which is fine,
yeah, which is reasonable, right? I mean, you'll just like have a lot of really aggressive tools right now, and then Lava Spider just like makes you trade with literally everything, right? It's great.
It's just Lava Spider is just silly. It makes you want to look at like 5,000 power forwards on a different light.
There's also the new fire backup that lets you makes one of their guys not be able to block you, right?
Yeah, the improved red mage.
Yeah. I actually like that card a lot. Like that's pretty good.
Yeah, it would be a good card. I mean, obviously you'd want to play a deck that has 2 to 3 that likes to set up with at least 2 to 3 backups, right?
Yeah.
Not like the one Clameria took that had like one. I mean, one backup is fine, but if you're trying to activate that card, then you want a second fire backup to be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like it just like Selfie is also really good in this sort of deck too. Well, anyways, we should wrap this up because.
All right, thank you for dropping by. I don't really know if we're gonna do it next week. I mean, not that I mind, but in terms of how are we gonna put it all together? Like, it's gonna be such a fresh meta that if you
it's not out yet next week, right?
Pre-release means you get to keep cards.
Yeah, but things like we're not actually going to be playing with like
but
we don't have like boxes. We don't have.
But at that point, does it feel relevant to play Opus 7? I mean, it's still a teaching moment.
Yeah, I mean, we're just learning about the game, right? I mean, like most of these things, like we don't really care about Opus 7, right? Like it's just we're like in terms of like competitive, right? The reason why we're playing this is because it's really important to just be able to learn, right? Learning the basics, right? Knowing what works and sort of like the dichotomies in the game, right? Like sort of the dichotomies between like the aggressive decks versus the control decks and how they tend to play out, right?
Yeah. Well, obviously, aggressive mono ice hasn't worked out so well right now.
Well, I think it's still like pretty okay. It's just like
it feels 1.5.
I just don't like it. Like it's just not what I want to be doing with my life.
I'll say this much: there was a lot of talk before about tournament play, competitive play, that you want to play something consistent, and this does not feel consistent. For being a mono element deck, it doesn't feel like it gets to its game plan consistently enough that it warrants being mono ice for the sake of forsaking all the other options you have in other elements, for taking the hypothetical power spike of being mono only plus consistency. But then again, your floor's not that high, and your ceiling may be way high, right? Like
my ceiling's pretty high, right?
Yeah, but then again, like there's other decks with high ceilings that's like, okay, like, Mono Earth EX, the NorCal special, has a very high ceiling, and the floor is much higher than this deck, so why am I taking this deck? That's the question I would ask myself, right?
Yeah. I mean, there is definitely some pretty oppressive hands that you can open with. It's just, yeah.
There's a lot of feels bad moments here. That's the problem, and that's something you have to take in when you're playing an aggressive deck. Is that sometimes like the cards don't play out right because you're basing
out of the game.
You're basing the success rate of your deck on the first couple turns, because that's what you're aiming for, right? When you're playing an aggressive deck, and so the amount of leeway you have between I'm doing great and I'm winning versus I'm not doing so great, at least with the current iteration of the decks versus the meta, is not great. Like your percentage isn't that high in comparison to what it was with Turbo Discard. Was like just ridiculous, right? Like high floor, high ceiling, very consistent, and I mean it just got it done. But now it's like, oh well, I mean it's annoying. I lose a couple cards early on. It's not backbreaking.
Yeah, like Sephiroth is like reasonably strong, but it's not like as oppressive as like say Thumb.
Do you think it would have been much different if it was a 9K?
I think it's the fact that it costs 7 is really what is making this card really, really.
But then I think if it cost like 5 or 6, it would have been a little.
It'd be a little bit powerful, right?
A little bit much. It would have been a little bit much. But yeah. On that note, thank you all for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsor, MagicDeckGames.com, that sells singles for Final Fantasy as well as Magic and Pokemon. Thanks to Blue for dropping by as usual.
Yeah, I enjoy doing this.
Dropping knowledge on John Bauer, who's excellent also playtest partner.
Yeah.
So thank you all for tuning in. Any shout outs or anything?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. Well, we'll see if we can tune in next week. We'll see if everybody is available. I don't know if John's working in next weekend, so
we'll see.
That's another factor. Otherwise, we'll keep you guys tuned in on Reddit as well as Facebook. And on that note, we'll catch you guys next time.